Hit it.
The following program contains scenes of violence, nudity, and mature subject matter. Parental discretion is advised.
LIW
Tales from the Crypt.
review. LIW
Oh god, we're on repeat. Who's playing it?
review.
Me.
That was me.
Fixed it.
It's all of us. I turned my sound off too, and it's still doing it. But anyway,
No, it was me.
LIW Tales from the Crypt review. I'm Phoenix West.
I'm Frank Links.
I'm Jansen Carlin.
Now, Madam Wilcox.
Thanks for joining me, guys. Today we watched 308 Easel Kill Ya, and it's been a while. Adam, how long ago was Yellow? Was that like a month?
Been a while.
We took a little break from Tales from the Crypt because we saw Yellow, and then the one after that was like, nope, that's not Yellow again. So we kind of wanted to end on an upward tick. So
Just depressed you guys.
yeah.
Well, this is episode 12, 13 of the show, whatever the fuck it is, and we watched one good episode.
So far.
This is
Yeah.
number 2.
You guys have. This is the first one I've watched.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
This is
Welcome to the
first one-
party, pal.
this is the first one I've ever watched, I think.
I was going to ask you that, Jansen, because this is your first time on the show.
Yeah.
And with new guests, we like to talk about our history with Tales from the Crypt.
My history with it is literally nil. Unfortunately, I don't know if that's unfortunate.
25 minutes old.
Yeah, my history is 25 minutes old. That's probably the first one that I've actively watched and paid attention to. You know, it might have been on as a kid, but it wasn't something that was in my radar. So it was enjoyable. I liked it. I probably started off on a good one, at least. So this one was at least entertaining. I know you guys have had a lot of unfortunate sittings of just garbage. So
Well, you say that, but I can watch Corman's Calamity whenever I want, guys. I own it. Our first episode. I wanna
You're
watch
literally
that
the only one
episode.
that likes it, too.
It was terrible.
It was but it was good terrible, at least.
Yeah,
No,
it's cheesy.
I don't agree.
Yeah.
I think it's unwatchable. I
It
really do.
was. It was. I think I just think for nostalgia's sake of the show, it was good.
Yeah, but that's it. But I saw someone post on Twitter the other day, because we're getting into the Twitter game a little harder than normal, that
Whoa.
let's look at that classic episode, Corman's Calamity. And I was like, oh, that episode fucking sucked. Like bad. It was bad.
Yeah,
Nothing enjoyable or classic about it.
yeah. And the Harry and the Hendersons guy was in it or whatever.
Yeah.
I keep saying that, but he's Harry from Night Court.
That's it,
Harry and the
Same
Hendersons-
shit. Some
John
hairy guy
Wick.
from the 80s. Who cares?
dude. That whole swirl of my life is such a blur. If there's a Harry, it's who knows. Bull was. I remember Harry was driving the thing, ran over Bull.
By the time you were 6, when this shit all came out, you were already coked out, so you have no memory of it. I get it.
Up on Wall Street.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
God,
found
his
all,
mind.
I found all my dad's shit by then.
Found the stash, just went for it. But. So this episode, though, it's our second episode in a row that we enjoyed. I think it's in a row. I want to say the last episode was Yellow that we did. It might not have been. My memory.
Maybe it was. Yeah, I think maybe we did Yellow, and I think then you decided to just do a double whammy of Twilight Zone because we wanted to get through it. So
We're kind of two
Why do you
things.
keep saying yellow?
that was the name of
one-
the episode that we liked. It was a season finale, Frank, and it was directed by Zemeckis.
Oh, so no wonder it didn't suck.
It had
it had a plot.
it had
Kirk Douglas,
and his son, and it had a great.
was in it.
his son, who isn't Michael Douglas. It was a
Yes.
third Douglas that we don't know. But
That was actually his name, Third Douglas.
As soon as I said, I'm like, who the fuck is Kurt Douglas? I was thinking Kurt Russell.
and then we got I forget his name, some other Douglas, but it was a good episode. But it was 46 minutes long, so it was double the length, and it felt half the length of one of these terrible episodes that we watch all the time. and it was not a Tales from the Crypt episode. It was a drama.
Yeah,
It worked.
it's like a movie that didn't quite make it into the theaters, so it's like, put on a Tales from the Crypt, whatever. Yeah.
Throw it as the season finale.
The season finale, World War One. It had Lance Hendrickson in it too. That was a bonus.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I
Lance
love
Hendrickson
him.
was. Yeah,
Who the
he's
fuck is
great.
Lance Hendricks.
He's the guy that played Bishop from Aliens.
he's great.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, and Traxler's partner from Terminator.
And
so on.
the other part from Aliens, and the other part from Aliens and Predator, and the other part from Aliens, because
Yeah.
they just gotta keep bringing,
He's all that though. But it was a good episode. This is another good episode with Tim Roth, who we saw right off the bat. And Frank, was it you that was mentioning he was constantly leaning forward the entire episode,
Yeah.
saying all his dialogue the same
Like
way?
that.
yeah, like, and he would stop talking and he would pose
Yeah, he was
for
holding.
a good 5 seconds, and then he's Mr. Fucking Orange again walking.
As much as I love Tim Roth, I would say that if it wasn't him in that episode probably would have still been good. Like if some random actor had played that wasn't ever well known, we probably would have enjoyed it.
You know what this episode reminded me of? Sorry, Adam.
An actual show.
It reminded me of On a Dead Man's Chest. How simple of a story it was. There wasn't really a whole lot going on in this episode.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't trying to be more than it was. It was just you watching a character fall apart, and that's fine. And it was fun, and it kept going, and we knew what the fuck was going to happen before it happened, but I still enjoyed watching it. Like I would watch this one again.
Right.
You know what? I just remember now, Phoenix. The last one we watched was the one where we couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. It was you
Right.
and Frank, and we were so pissed. We decided let's just not do Tales from the Crypt next week. Let's just do
Speaking of
Twilight Zone. Fuck this show.
Frank,
The difference with this one, it was like there was a setup and then a payoff and then a setup and a payoff.
Yeah, and then I just want to add, like, this was the most Twilight Zone-ish episode of Tales from the Crypt I've ever
I was
seen.
just about to say that. It was
That's-
very, very like that.
three of us, I don't know what Adam was, we're all working our way there. That's where I was going to go with my full swing here when I finished. But you're right. It's
You ruined it.
no, I'm glad he mentioned it. It wasn't just me thinking that.
No, I think we all felt that.
And that's why it worked as a episode, because you're not thinking about like, so like the last episode I forgot we did, Adam, and was the British Guy Ritchie knockoff episode with the. I didn't want to talk about it. I fucking
Right? Yeah, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again. Once was enough. Yeah.
despised that episode. It's my least favorite so far, but I literally put it out of my mind and just ignored it and went to Yellow again, or the episode before that. But
Like, remember Yellow? Remember that time we watched Tales from the Crypt and it didn't suck? Oh, those were the good old days. Remember the good old days, fellas?
yeah, it's weird because this episode reminds me of that last episode that we did. I forget what it was called. I don't want to go down memory lane here on that, so I'll start crying. But it reminded me of that plus Dead Man's Chest, which I both hated, but combine them with Tim Roth, and I liked it a lot, which is weird. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, you just tweak it a little bit. You attempt to give a shit, and you pace it better, and it doesn't have like, there was a couple of fake outs, but not like exhausting amount of like fake outs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the less crap that you try to push into it, the better an episode is going to turn out. And it sounds like, I obviously haven't watched them, but it sounds like from you guys' previews.
No, you're right. Less is more.
They're trying to do too much, and that's what Twilight Zone has going well for it, is that it's simple, right? Anybody can follow along. It's a very just even keel show that you don't have to pay too much attention. You can probably figure out what's going on and enjoy it.
Well, simple structure with relatable characters is the two things you need in a short form anthology show, because you're not carrying over from last episode.
And
Game of Thrones.
what character from this one that we just saw did you relate to, Phoenix?
Not relate. I mean, character relatability, meaning I understand where he's coming from. Like,
I
Tim
think
Roth's character,
I
they-
think he relates to the money bags. I think he relates to money bags when he's laying on his back on the bed.
That one I really understood.
Getting fucked by Tim Roth.
Yeah.
If you've been fucked by Tim Roth today, see a doctor now.
When you watch a show, you don't have to go, I understand. I feel like that guy, but you have to say, I know where he's coming from. And this one, in 3 scenes, quick scenes, we understood he has the urge to kill. He's in a meeting for it. He wants to suppress it. Therefore, he's trying to be a good person. Next scene, that girl talks to him and she goes home with him and tries to paint her. And we get everything in like 4 or 5 minutes. That's what I mean by character relatability. We get it really quick. And that's an important setup because Corman's Calamity, our first episode, which this also felt like, I had no fucking idea. It felt like Harry Anderson wanted nothing to do with the episode he's in. He's like, you guys are doing an episode. That has nothing to do with me, the main character.
God damn it, Phoenix! It's Harry Henderson. Haven't you heard anything?
Here for the paycheck.
Yeah, because we didn't really know where he was coming from or what his setup was or who the fuck was going on for like half an episode on Calamity. But in 3 scenes, we knew exactly where he was in his mind. You know, like we knew a lot about the character already, way sooner than usual. And that's it. Like, you know, movies have, you know, like they had, you know, they're 2 hours long, so they get the half hour to do all that. When you have an anthology show, and that's what I think Jansen was saying Twilight Zone also is so good at, is you already knew, like, you weren't asking questions about the character as you're watching the character go through what's going on before you're asking. You see what I mean? Like why would we do that? You know?
That's how you do it.
And then on top of that too, I mean, Twilight Zone throws in the addition of having the pre-narration of this is so and so, this is what's kind of happening. Here's an idea of what to expect in the next 5 minutes, right? So to have that in any show, especially in that short amount of time, is it's priceless.
Jansen and I were kind of talking about that before we went live. If this was a movie that came out today, there would be about an hour and a half of jump scares. And then the last 25 minutes would be this episode.
Yeah.
Like it'd just be like fake outs and jump scares and then boom, delivery. So
and it'd still be good because it's Tim Roth.
Did we do an episode about British Hitman? I don't remember that. I don't think we did. I'm ignoring it like childhood trauma.
No, you know what?
Last episode.
It was a fake out, Phoenix. We thought we watched it, but it was obviously a nightmare fake out. We all imagined it collectively.
Here's how bad that episode was. I don't remember which one of us was on the show.
You and Frank. Yeah. No, you were here. Oh, you were?
Oh,
I think you were, Frank. I think you were.
Which one?
The British Hitman, and it felt like they kept changing and the vampires.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you were guessing vampires and I was guessing something else. Like
I'm sorry, because I didn't
purgatory.
Because I didn't hear any dialogue throughout the entire episode. So.
That's why I said we should shut up during this episode, because last one we talked over everything. I have no idea what happened.
But what we were saying was more entertaining than what was in that actual episode.
Exactly. See, we were able to figure out who was right and wrong with no dialogue.
it was that vapid. Yeah.
And it still sucked balls.
Oh.
God, it was bad.
No, there's not sweaty like Gary Busey balls. I don't some gross balls. It didn't just suck balls. It sucked the worst balls. Who has the worst balls out there? Like James
Jack Black
for 5 years.
Yeah, have you seen Jack Black lately? Holy shit.
Jack Black balls on a summer day wearing fucking wool underwear. All right,
that's straight up onion. That's
Jack Black balls wearing sweatpants on a summer day. All right,
very onion.
Yeah. Like fucking cheap Walmart sweatpants.
Now
it's like Johnny Depp balls, because you're like,
oh,
what the fuck are these? What's on these?
Dude, they smell like pearls.
I don't know what pearls smell like. I'm not gonna recognize pearls by scent. It smells like a pearl, my good sir. Your balls.
If Johnny Depp balls were in my face would glow.
I want you to describe.
It's too early for you to do this to me, Frank. It's too early in the show, damn it.
I think if your face is glowing, you might need to get checked for an STD.
Or you get the spotlight from the Purple Testament.
Exactly.
Yeah. Jansen, you're not quite there yet. Purple Testament. I think that's episode like 19.
It's a great episode.
It's okay.
I liked it.
I like to hear what he says. You always say, it sucked. No, it's great. It's all right.
Teach their own. You're wrong, but it's
Always
fine.
the opposite of whatever he says.
No, Purple
No,
Testament.
I loved it. Fuck
Yeah,
it. Piece
no.
of shit.
He hates war fucking movies. That's why.
It's what?
You hate war movies, and it was about Vietnam.
Hey, Yellow was a war episode, and I loved it.
And they called
You're
it
sharing
Yellow.
You're sharing Greg sharing a paintbrush on here.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure who Gam Wolfers was.
That's Greg.
Greg.
What's up,
How are
Greg?
you?
Yep.
Greg's
Yep.
our biggest fan.
Yep.
Hello, Greg.
Thanks is you
Welcome to Raiders of Lost Flicks, buddy.
You
Greg's the guy that
single
won the won this. He's the guy that won this.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
congratulations, man. I wanted it. I wanted it.
Yep. That he is our iTunes 5-star poster winner of February.
So I suppose we should talk about the plot of the
Oh, yeah.
episode.
Eh, fuck the plot.
No,
Really, if you
Phoenix
guys
is good at
indulge
that.
me for
He-
20
Yeah.
seconds, I'll
All
go
right.
over it.
Phoenix, go off.
So Tim Roth is a painter, can't sell paintings. He looks like he paints for McDonald's, that shitty artwork in the wall where you paint straight lines, or they put up like fruit roll-up circles.
Tommy Hilfiger advertisements. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all segmented and squared, and it looks
Apple
like dog
Store.
shit.
1995.
I thought I said it uninterrupted, but okay.
All right.
So we're interrupting now.
All right, everybody go on mute.
No, I just want to get through this so we can fuck around. He can't make money. He also has a killer obsession like Dexter. and he
Adam's
has
gonna
to
have
kill
another
people.
stroke. I'm sorry.
I thought I said interrupted. But he decides to start killing people. He has a fake out in the beginning where he kills some fucking lady is just there offering him work, and then some other woman from his fucking murderers club comes back with him and poses, and he doesn't kill her, and she just fucking leaves before he finishes the painting, and then he starts going on a decline where he starts killing people in his own apartment complex, and cue to killers. Don't kill people nearby where you're going to be clearly one of the witnesses. They interview the neighbors. Don't kill your neighbors. Kill other people outside your neighborhood.
That's what I'm saying.
And then he goes and he starts taking photographs and paintings of it, and he sells it to a rich guy from Ghostbusters. And then it goes on from there. And that's just the main setup there. And we can kind of talk about it a little further here, right?
No. I think you're like,
Should I finish?
yeah. Go for it, dude.
At one point, he kills his girlfriend, gets hit by a car after he's chasing her. And it looks like he's about to kill her because he tried to kill her with an alarm clock. Jansen had the great pun in our live episode. Go ahead and listen to that. And then he chases her out. She gets hit by a car, gets taken to the doctor. And then the doctor's like, bitch is going to die if she doesn't make it to midnight, which is a Twilight Zone thing. And then he goes and he randomly kills a guy. And I just assumed, I was like, I didn't even hear Jansen say it, but I was on the same page as him where I'm like, that's the doctor. And I thought he was doing that on purpose, killing the doctor that could save her because he wanted to paint her death portrait. But he kills him in an alleyway or like a stairwell, and it paints his brain matter on a piece of cardboard and sells it to the guy from Ghostbusters who has no dick.
For $100K.
For $100K. Takes the check to the doctor, and he's like, look, I got a wrinkled up piece of paper that's a check that says money. It has money, therefore I can pay for her surgery. And he's like, well, bitch is dying and the doctor's dead. And then they show the blanket over the body. And I was like, I thought that's what he's doing on purpose. Apparently I just was ahead of it.
And then the blinds close, and it's like, it's over for him.
That was a good.
He gonna go to jail.
Yeah. Because the guy goes,
he's getting the chair.
Artist.
That's straight up serial killer chair shit.
The world's worst detective, because he's holding evidence in the case, and he's like holding it with his bare hand, a paintbrush. And he's like, I understand you're a painter. Therefore, my fingerprints are all over.
There's no DNA or fingerprints on it. Yeah.
All we have on you is you paint.
Yeah.
Is this your card, sir?
He might.
Yeah, but the funny part is that's probably all he needed. He just full on confesses right there. It's over.
Well, if he knew it was his, he has no evidence now because the fingerprints are gone because he's fucking holding the sumbitch up in the air like yours is yours, right?
He was the most empathetic serial killer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I understand you like to draw mustaches in library books.
And hold the phone.
That's good shit.
That's the episode.
We liked it.
I liked it.
It was good. It was dramatic. They had good camera shots too, like especially that last one. I think
Yeah.
I love
you
that
called that
blind
one out.
shot.
The blind
Yeah.
shot. Yeah,
I loved
that was
it.
good shit.
We always know that we like these shows. Phoenix, Frank, Jansen, since you're the first time when we actually stop talking without one of us saying, "Will you shut the fuck up? I can't hear what he's saying."
There was a good 10 minutes where everybody was quiet.
If we just
Oh, they're
voluntarily
into it.
stop and we're listening, we're engaged. We know it doesn't suck. Yeah. It's that simple.
During the yellow episode, Adam and I were just sitting.
And called it.
We zoned the fuck out. We were just
I was
gone.
like, "Oh God, we're doing a live show."
Like, hey, Frank, or no, it's like, hey, Phoenix, I'm engaged in this episode.
I'm like, what do we do?
Are we sure this is Tales from the Crypt? Did you like accidentally like select a movie that we haven't seen yet? Yeah.
But this is another example of that. Where I mean, the last episode we watched, Horror in the Night, right? That was the last episode, if I remember.
I don't know. Guy Ritchie spinoff, fucking
We
fake
did
out
not
bullshit.
shut the
Yeah.
fuck up for the episode. I bet
No.
if you listen back to the live commentary, you cannot hear the episode.
No,
We
you
stopped
can't even
talking.
hear us. We're just like, fuck this episode.
It sucks so bad. Leo Red, what's up, man?
Leo.
He's always on here.
Yeah,
I'm still getting used to the live
he's my number one biggest fan. It's my boy.
There you go. So we got both of ours.
So is Greg. Yeah, my number one.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Yo, and Greg, don't miss tomorrow, man, because I am pissed that I hate Eddie Gossage, man. That's all I'm saying. I hate that. I hate Texas. I hate Eddie Gossage, and yeah, don't miss tomorrow night, buddy.
Who raped that girl, Frank? You're gonna have to accept that fact, okay?
It was ridiculous, dude. I don't want to get into it.
I'm
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just making up accusations now at this point. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man. But she was
No.
raped, and he was
Greg-
there.
Greg knows what I'm talking
It was
about.
okay. It's all right.
Lost
It
is
sucked.
not even funny.
I'm sorry you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but Greg does, and it's
Okay.
It's insider baseball.
Okay. I'll stay out of my show. Sorry.
Insider IndyCar.
Is that a
Yeah.
racer? Is it a racer?
What?
The guy you're mentioning, is that a racer?
No, I'm talking to Greg Gam.
I know who Greg is. Is the guy you're talking about?
Oh no, he owns Texas Motor Speedway.
I thought you were gonna say he owns Texas. Like this
No,
guy.
put it this way.
He's not a racer, but he is involved in the racing game.
Okay, Eddie Gossage owns Texas Motor Speedway, and like 5 years ago,
You know that.
the race was canceled for 3 months because of a rainout, because it rained in Phoenix 18 hours earlier, and the track was still fucking soaked. It was just ridiculous.
They did it on one of the 4 days it rains here.
Or no, wait, it was in Texas, but still Texas Phoenix. So what's the difference? I say
A lot of difference.
not temperature wise.
It only rains 4 days in Phoenix. Fuck
both
you. It
in the
hasn't
desert.
stopped raining for 4 days here. All right.
That's why I moved the fuck out of Florida. Fuck
It's rained
Florida.
every day here and fucking for 3 months. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you guys live in shit spots and wonder why it's shit.
You know, New Jersey fucking blows. Yes.
I like it. I just don't like it right now. It'll get better.
Oh,
eventually.
yeah. That sounds familiar lately in the news. Okay.
Yeah. So it's all going to be fine. It'll be fine.
They're blowing up ATMs across the river. It's nuts.
Blow over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be all right.
Leave the house in 20 minutes.
We're only closing the beaches for 24 hours.
Oh, no big deal. Philly is raining tear gas, he says. Does he live in DC?
Who? Greg?
Greg?
Yeah. Or Virginia. Yeah, right out of DC.
Come on. Anyway, let's talk about the episode. We haven't talked
Yeah,
about it
back
for a
to the
while.
episode.
Tim
Zemeckis
Roth-
was in the credits.
His name's always in the credits.
On every episode, though?
Yeah, he's a producer.
Well, then that
So-
makes me extra mad when the episodes do suck. Because
That's what I was going to say. You mentioned during our live commentary episode that Zemeckis probably saved this one, but I'm like, this is before Yellow because I think Yellow is 311.
correct. Yeah,
Well,
this was
yeah.
1991, so this is
So-
an earlier season.
This the yellow episode seems like a fluke.
They called
And
it.
this
Yeah.
one seems like the most Tales from the Crypt episode we've seen yet, as far as like our memory goes for it, our nostalgia meter. You know what I mean? Like
That's true. Yeah.
the reality is we're watching them and we're like, oh, it's down here, but our nostalgia's up here, and this one matches that.
And our expectations are, well, you can't see because I'm off camera. They're like right about there. Yeah.
Isn't that how nostalgia works though? Don't we always hype shit up in our brain? So I mean,
Yeah, dude. I was like, oh yeah, remember Tales from the Crypt? That show was fucking awesome, man. And then we're watching, we're like,
yeah,
this is shit. Why did I watch this shit? I can't tell you how many. We talk about this all the time. How many shows that we used to watch and we loved them as kids, and we watch them now, and it's like, what the actual fuck was I thinking? Why were we so easily entertained?
you weren't thinking. Your frontal cortex hadn't developed yet. You didn't know what the
No,
Going,
I didn't know what was good.
I'm jerking off the Schindler's List over here and going, oh, fuck Tales from the Crypt.
Well, yeah, I mean that's fair. I liked Buck. I liked Buck Rogers in the 25th century, but I was jerking off to Aaron Gray. Fair enough. That's, I'm a red-blooded male.
Frank, what are you saying?
I was going to say something, but never mind.
I lost him at Aaron Gray.
Lost the nerve.
No, I
Aaron Gray.
totally forgot the name of this fucking episode. I'm trying to look it up on IMDb.
Easel Kill Ya.
What season was it again?
308. So season 3, episode 08.
Okay.
He only had 4 puns, the Crypt Keeper. Oh, let me bring this up real quick, guys, because I'm trying to do something here. I think it's going to work out because he's fairly receptive to this sort of thing. The Crypt Keeper had 4 puns in the beginning and only 2 in the outro.
Well,
One was
we heard.
visual.
I feel like there was one more, but I think we were talking over it.
No, I was listening.
Oh, were
I was
you?
ignoring you guys. I was counting.
Classic.
But he had one visual with the finger painting, but then he said it, so I only counted it once because it's there once. But what I was gonna say is John Cassier or John Cassier, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. I apologize. Some other Twilight Zone or Tales from the Crypt show asked him to do a video intro, and he fucking did it. And I'm like, we need to get him to do an audio intro for our show. And I feel like I could talk him into it. It's not that hard.
Who?
The voice of the Crypt Keeper.
Oh, no shit, really?
He's doing intros for podcasts because he's like, why the fuck not? He enjoys doing it. He loves doing the voice. I love the voice. I love the guy.
No. I want him on for an entire episode.
I'll talk to him.
All right.
But I want to get him
$100
to do at least an intro. Sorry, what?
$100 and a pack of cigarettes. That's all you need.
I don't think he smokes. His voice is way too high.
It's an expression, Phoenix. Get on.
Yeah. I'm really was thinking like I
mean,
could do that way. He probably doesn't like over reality.
I mean, I'm just good at booking people. If you know, I already got Tim Roth on for about 2 weeks from now. Maybe he said, "Don't let me know." So if you want me to, I'm kidding. Hi, Phoenix.
So tune in 2 weeks from now when Tim Roth will be special guest star.
You
Right.
get Tim Roth on here.
Tim Roth, the garbage man from North Bronx.
Dude, if I ever get Tim Roth on a podcast, this will be the last thing I talk to him about. Are you kidding me?
You get Tim Roth on this show, I'll do the show naked. I don't give a fuck.
Tim Roth will never be on the show. Then Adam. Well, I mean, I'm sorry.
I won't do the show naked.
Yeah.
I've done shows naked.
You've done videos naked. This should be old hat for you. Yeah.
I'll keep my pants on for Tim Roth. Okay. I'd rather talk to the voice of the Crypt Keeper than Tim Roth as far as this show goes.
Yeah.
I'd rather talk about Tim Roth about this specific episode. That's different. And we should totally. The problem is I don't look in who's in the. I didn't pull up IMDb for this episode until we watched it already. Then I pulled it up and I was like,
because you were like, "Oh, hey, this is a good one. How did this happen?"
Yeah,
who's the person responsible for the goodness?
Well, the first several shows I was pulling it up and I was going, "Oh, this person's in it," so I knew Harry Anderson is in it, or Harry and the Hendersons was in it. And
Harry Henderson's.
So I just felt like I was too in the know already. So I want to watch these fresh, completely like memory erased dementia state. I don't want to know. But this would be a fun one to have. If we do should we do our Redux episodes on this? If we get an actual actor or producer or writer or something,
I don't have a problem with it.
That'd be fun. I could totally try to swing something.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Frank taught us how to use Twitter, and I'm learning. I feel like I could try something here.
I'm telling you, man, Twitter's awesome.
Did you know the leading lady,
Praise
Roya
the creators.
Techno or whatever?
Can you get rid of the main screen?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I can turn that off.
She died in 2009 from a brain tumor.
Who did? The main actress?
The main actress.
That's a bummer. I'm used to that in Twilight Zone when every single person we look up is dead. But
Yeah, she was only like 40 something, 46.
that's a fucking bummer.
Yeah, it's sad.
By the way, Phoenix, do you know what almost every single actor on the Twilight Zone also did? A movie called Hitler.
Breathe. Yeah. That's a shout out to the Twilight Pwn.
Yep.
Right there. We're not doing Twilight Zone right now, though, but still a good shout out.
Yep.
Hitler. There's a movie out there called Hitler with an exclamation point at the end.
Yep.
So many Twilight Zone actors were in,
For some reason.
and nobody knows what the fuck it is because you can't find it.
I never tried to look.
Oh, like the South Park guys made it.
I was gonna say it's not based on the musical "Springtime for Hitler" by the producers, is it? Okay.
I don't think so. No.
It
No,
could
bro,
be for
not
all
at
I know. I have no idea. I mean, I don't think it was a documentary or a drama, a docudrama mentary. I don't know what that would be.
Just keep adding syllables.
Mentary is
A documentary promise.
It's a real dramacumentary, you know?
Documentary biopic.
Someone on Twitter
documentary.
Someone on Twitter posted,
Yes.
create your own genre. So I created a mumble pornography. Which is mumblecore movies with pornography.
Nice.
Judd Apatow means hardcore porn. Mumble pornography.
Now, Phoenix, if you had that many balls in your mouth, you're going to be mumbling. It's just it's a fact of life. Yeah.
A lot of marbles. A lot of pennies in your mouth.
A lot of money in your.
You just never learn until you just dive in.
Anyway, I guess what we're trying to say is good job, Tim Roth. Was Roya Magnot the lady, or is that Nancy Fish? Which one's the lady that is dead now? Oh, it's Roya. Jansen,
So
talking to your direction.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. I got distracted.
I already figured it out. Roya is the one that's dead in
Yes.
2009.
Yes. Sorry. I was reading something from that.
And William Atherton. Let's talk about him for a little bit.
Okay.
Anybody? Adam, I feel like you're the
Oh,
one
you
to talk
just throw it here. You go, William Atherton.
really
He's the
bad
guy. Yeah,
opinion.
he's Walter Peck from the Ghostbusters.
Mike, can you just have said that, Phoenix? You asshole. Phoenix has to pee.
It's gone.
Oh no, he's getting
God damn it! So yeah, William Atherton. If you look up Dick in the in the encyclopedia of the internet, it just has William Atherton and little
Okay.
fucking picture next to him. That he's a man with no dick from the Ghostbusters. Yeah.
And
And don't worry, I'll remind you at least 3 more times before the episode's over, just in case you guys forget.
Ray who is the comedian guy? Dan Aykroyd, right? He yells "Your mom" at him or something. Remember at the end of the "Your mother"? No, it wasn't him. It was the other guy.
He said "your mother" before that was like a major thing in the 90s. So,
That's what I mean. Like he was like
Yeah.
it was the first "Your mother" comeback at something somebody said I've ever seen in my life. I was young.
And then In Living Color refined it.
That's where they took it from. Ghostbusters. Yep. Anyway, what's there to say? The guy's like a macabre painting billionaire guy that basically, he for some reason he just knows this guy has potential from these terrible fucking paintings, and he has like gigantic his walls are we thought he was in a museum, like a Holocaust museum, at first, but no, it was Peck's house. So, crazy.
No, to ape off what you're saying, Frank, he has like Holocaust pictures and he has like Vietnam.
Just
like the slaughter, like the gun to the guy's head, you
It's
know.
all journalistic shots of just murder,
Yeah.
death, and man.
So when Tim Roth comes to him, is like, I painted this guy. I don't think he even tells him at first that he killed the guy in an accident with a potter's plant, and then the guy fell off the scaffolding, the fire exit, and then died. He took a picture of him and then painted it, and then he killed his neighbor, and then took a picture with it, and then she started grabbing him and choking him, and he's like, just kind of walks away, and then he does the same thing one more time, or is that it? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, no,
That's it. Well, he chokes out his girlfriend one time, and then he pictures William. Was it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he's fucking Roya, the character Sharon. He's fucking her, and then all of a sudden she turns into William Atherton, and I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, where's this going?
I'm glad that scene didn't last any longer than it did, because I was uncomfortable for about a half a second.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix got a full chub, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we were watching gay sex pretty much. Tim Roth.
Anything goes.
Tim Roth and Peck fucked in this episode at some
I
point.
feel like I'm wearing a KKK thing. I'm gonna take off the ghost outfit.
Yikes!
The other day,
Reach.
this has been on my wall for years, and the other day my fan caught it while I was sleeping at like 3 a.m, and it pulled it into it and was like slapping around the room, and then just like flew around like a ghost, like the Frighteners, and just landed on me like a blanket.
I was gonna say, did you wake up screaming, "I ain't afraid of no ghosts! I ain't
Yeah.
afraid of no ghosts"?
What the fuck was that? Fuck it.
I mean, like, did you jump up real quick and then slide down a pole?
no, I got a ghost blowjob.
That's where I was gonna go next. Fuck it. That's all I got. I got nothing else.
I'm pulling out every Ghostbusters thing I can think of. That's all I got to do.
I just accepted it. It was happening. But the last page,
Man, you're fucking lucky the ceiling fan didn't come down on you when you were sleeping.
I was watching.
That's a
nothing
big ass fucking.
around and it like landed on me. But the last painting he sells him, I mentioned it earlier, but let's talk a little more. Was literally a piece of cardboard, because that's all there was below the body. And he grabbed some like paintbrush and dipped it in the blood and drew the worst fucking painting I've ever seen in my life. And there's clearly like brain chunks on it. And he sells it for $100K to William Atherton.
Yeah, it had to be still like dripping off of the cardboard, right? I mean,
William Atherton's character clearly jerks off to Faces of Death videos.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all
Oh my
happening within
God.
like a couple hours. So yeah, there's no doubt that thing is still just dripping wet.
I still have nightmares from that one Faces of Death video I ever seen, man. Good God.
That's fucking gross. That's the appropriate reaction.
Yeah, like I remember the one that they just threw this little guy, because he looked like very malnourished, some Eastern Asian country, I don't know. They threw him on like a mound of dirt, and then took a shotgun to his jaw and just blew his jaw off, and the guy's just going but no jaw. Oh God, haunts me to this day. It was
Yes,
so fucked
and
up.
that's the appropriate reaction, not like William Atherton in this episode where he's like a piece of cardboard with brain matter.
Fuck, man.
Pretty
And-
much.
And we all know what jerking off to horrible shit gets you. More horrible shit. I mean, you got to keep,
He's deep in the rabbit hole. This guy is down a fucking deep dark well of
Dude.
just.
I spent a year in a fertility clinic, dude. You have no idea what the depths of porn I've had. Never mind. Can we move on?
How violent was the porn you
It
had
just
to
got
make?
too real in here.
ultimately resulted in your wife being preggers. How deep was that rabbit hole by the time you finished?
Dude, even my phone was like, "You sure?"
That was the wrong clip, Adam.
Your phone,
Chose
just had
the
to be
other one
like,
where it's like,
your phone just had to be like melting in your hand every time you picked it up. It's like, please put me out of my misery.
even the dark web is like, dude, a little restraint, please.
like man,
Dark Web's like, tone it down. What kind of a place you think this is? This
Yeah.
is like, this is not that kind of a place.
We are well not that deep and dark, sir. Okay.
Look,
Anyway, you
even-
want to hire a hitman or no?
even the guy in the red room, when I typed in what I wanted to see, he went, "Dude, you're fucked up." Like, I'm paying.
All right, here you
Dark
go.
web is only metaphorical.
Sure.
Like, dude. All right,
Right.
here.
You don't know anything about Tor.
You know,
They didn't want to turn your webcam.
thanks, U.S. Navy.
You know,
Okay.
you're depraved when the webcam doesn't even turn on. They're like, we don't want to watch that, dude. The dark web. No.
Just goes black.
Only one guy, one jar, Frank. That's what Greg said.
Oh God. Oh God.
Did you try to stick your
Oh,
dick in the
oh,
jar?
fuck.
Were you stirring it?
No, dude, he's talking
Okay.
about
Is
that
my
guy.
dick in a jar?
No, he's talking about the guy that got that jar and he shoved it up his ass and it just shattered in a million pieces and he's shitting out blood.
So anyway, in the episode,
Back to the episode.
he kills the
Ugh,
guy.
yeah.
And the girlfriend dies, and I'm not letting Frank talk right now.
I didn't bring it up. Greg did.
Don't want to hear about it.
I don't either. Jesus, Greg.
You could just
Just
say
trying
no
to have
comment.
audience interaction here, man. Come on.
The muffin.
Don't give me that shit,
Come on, muffin.
guys.
All right.
Part.
That's on if he drops. If there's nothing else for
Put him in your mouth first and then pull one out.
Yeah, really. Have it fall into your mouth. You won't drop it.
How many can you
Better
stuff
yet.
in your cheeks?
Better yet, eat them all, whichever one comes out first.
Yeah. We'll find out tomorrow.
We're gonna do a 16-hour podcast.
Oh, fuck.
I'm doing it on the bed so they can't fall. But do you guys? I mean, we didn't really hit it that hard this episode, but we don't need to. It was a fun episode.
We don't want to shit on it because it was actually entertaining for us. So
Go watch it.
it's not all. Apparently, not all Tales from the Crypts are terrible.
No, I really enjoyed.
Who
this
knew?
Gotta have the rays of sunshine to enjoy the rainy days.
There has to be like a DVD equivalent of like fan favorites or something like that, where they just have like the best ones. That's something that I would purchase.
They have the Zemeckis episodes.
Okay, there you go.
Probably like a higher quality than just the average, but you know, this was John Harrison. I don't know who the fuck that is. I'm not gonna say it's particularly well directed. He did the Dune remake in 2000.
Let's see. I like that. I like
He also
that.
directed Tales from the Dark Side movie.
A 2000 remake of Dune was great.
Harris, you saying?
What?
Because because we were saying this earlier that every time you think about Tales from the Crypt back in the day, you instantly go to the movie with Billy Zane, which was amazing. Right?
Yeah.
I don't agree.
Demon Knight was entertaining. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's
It has Corey Feldman though.
yeah, it's
It had the other guy from Wings with jumper cables on his tits. Come on. Not the Shining piece of shit. The other guy, the mechanic.
Steven Weber. It had what the fuck is his name?
I dude, it would take me about a half hour and I could probably
Wings, jumper cables, tits. Sounds like an existential
was-
crisis to me.
it was Lowell from fucking Wings.
It's Tim something.
Oh god.
I'll look it up. Point
Anyway,
is,
he was in that movie, I just remember.
IMDb. Here we go. Yeah, it's a good episode. If you have a chance to watch it, go ahead and watch it. I would definitely recommend it. It's the second episode on our list so far that has made my top tier episodes.
Agreed. I'd give this one about a 7.
Tim Daly.
It is
That's it.
number one on my list of Tales from the Crypt episodes that I've seen.
That's not fair.
Listen,
No, but you got to give it
I'll
like
go
an
back.
IMDb
Do you
rating.
understand the suffering that we've had to do, Jensen, to get to this point? Somebody
It's
had
been
to
a long,
suffer.
hard road.
Yeah,
It has
that
a
was-
7.3 in IMDb.
it has a 7.
Okay.
Which I was amazed.
Out of, I almost don't want to rate it because it has 666 views right now, or reviews.
that had
I
to
almost
be
don't want to touch it.
that had to be extremely on purpose.
I'm gonna ruin it right now though. I'm gonna give it a 7.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, solid 7.
Solid 7. It
Because
was
like you said, it's not super heavy in the story, but it's executed well. Like it kept us engaged. That's all we could ask for at this point.
All you want, exactly, Adam. All you want out of an anthology show, speaking back to what we're talking about before, is you're not looking for like, whoa, what the fuck, that story, because your story can't be that involved in 25 minutes. You want, I didn't expect that. That was a great performance. That story was good enough to keep me want to watch the show.
Mhm.
That's all you're looking for.
Yep, and we, for some reason, no matter how much you try, you always try to guess what's going to happen. And this one, I didn't expect it.
Well, Jansen guessed it.
Okay.
I didn't even think I had to say it out
Sorry.
loud because that's where I thought it was going.
Oh, I'm not. I suck at seeing.
I didn't guess it either, Frank. I don't feel bad. I didn't
Okay.
guess it either.
Fair enough.
We're dense. Whatever.
Yeah, good episode. Watch it. We don't really need to talk anymore about it. Anything you guys learned from the episode?
Don't become a painter.
Okay.
I learned that I don't think I've ever seen anything bad with Tim Roth in it.
No, he's great. 4 Rooms. I highly recommend it. Probably.
4 Rooms. Yes, he is fucking awesome in that.
Yeah.
4
I
Rooms
learned-
reminds me more of a
I learned what
than
Tales from the Crypt is.
you learned.
It's a show, and there's stuff on it.
I knew what it was. I'm just ignorant to the actual inner workings of it.
Did you actually watch it ever though?
I don't recall. I had terrible memory to begin with, and I don't recall ever actively watching it as a kid.
How about the movie with Billy Zane?
Probably not.
Demon
How
Knight.
about the really movie with Corey Feldman?
Oh God, that one. I don't even.
Corey
I
Feldman
think-
and Miller.
Yeah, Dennis Miller and Corey Feldman. Yeah. Oh, good God.
Yeah, you're gonna have to loan me some stuff to watch there, Phoenix.
John Stamos. That's
Oh,
all you
boy.
need to know.
I'm sold. Sign me up.
So, you guys want to do your plugs while I go ahead and draw?
I'll go
start
first.
with-
I have nothing to plug. I'm gonna start streaming on Twitch again at twitch.tv/Scully eventually, but that's about it.
Oh, reddragonsrare.com. Get me off that. Oh, God.
I haven't zoomed in on you yet, Frank. I want everybody to see your beautiful peepers.
Ugh.
RaidersOfLostFlicks.com, where we reviews bad movies, and I got some stuff coming out this week, some reviews, a couple of surprises, and of course, every Friday we watch a movie together and we let you score it. Might be a surprise if I hit that 500 mark this week, so look out for that.
I see it coming. I hope it happens. It's coming soon.
Working on it. Yeah, it's been kind of pop culture has been kind of at a standstill, so I've had to invent shit to talk about, and that's never easy. So
I drew I-17. Oh, too dark. Okay, so I drew I-17s. Go ahead and trust me. I have no reason to lie.
Did you drop it?
No.
Wow.
I have it on the bed.
Oh,
So you lost your bet. Episode 614, 99 and 44 out of 100% pure horror. That's the name of it.
I like the name. Yeah.
Adam.
The problem, I tried to
have
grab the DVD. I have a DVD down there, and guess who directed that movie? Called 99 and 44 out of 100% dead. Guess who directed it, guys? Adam.
Tommy Wiseau.
Frank, you know who directed
Robert
that movie.
Zemeckis.
Frank, you know me. Who directed that movie?
Oh,
Adam, who directed that movie?
John Frankenheimer.
Frankenheimer. I wanted to say Bruckheimer, dude, and I knew it wasn't that.
John Frankenhooker.
Yeah,
You know what's funny? John Frankenheimer directed a movie very similar to this title, but he didn't direct this episode. But John Frankenheimer did direct an episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Yes, we watched it.
No, we haven't. We watched a William Friedkin episode.
Oh, the freaking one. Okay. Yeah. It was a freaking episode, all right.
But we
They
have
call
not.
it yellow.
So join us next time. It'll probably be in about 2 weeks because we're way the fuck ahead of schedule on the podcast feed. We release once every Tuesday on the podcast feed, available wherever your podcasts are. So we kind of do this every other week because we're we're like 6 weeks out from our the last episode we did. Adam and Frank, right? You were both there. Is not debuting until the end of July or the end of June or something like that. Something crazy. We're way ahead of schedule. So we're going to do this every other week for a little bit.
Really hope
Yeah.
life is back to normal back then or by then.
We'll catch up and then we'll start doing 1-and-1. But anyway, for my plugs, LIWstudios.com. Check out this show, LIWTFTC review. Fucking Twitter and their little names. But
Yeah,
starting to hit that up.
you got to get creative to fit everything that you want in there. Yeah.
Exactly, like our Twilight Zone show, Twitter.
Yeah. Dude, my way off
I
top.
thought I was doing plugs, but cool. All right, no, go ahead.
I cut him short because I'm literally cutting him off during plugs. I need to shut up. Sorry.
Okay, so LAWstudios.com,
How
YouTube.com.
disrespectful can you be?
Okay, now you're doing it. Cool. Loitering in Wonderland on YouTube, and then also we have. I just want to keep talking now to see who else interrupts.
Where is Bucky? And what has he had?
Angel dust. I told him.
That man's dead and still cut me off. What a dick. I guess I'm done with the plug, so good luck finding us.
You're in the fucking description. Go
Actually
look
malding right now.
Bitch, are you for real?
I am for real, bitch, and I don't know where to find us. I'm lost.
you just saw a naked black man. Go bicker, you're for real.
I always do. I got
Yeah.
screens. One of them is just naked black man over and over.
I'll finish it off for you. LoiteringInWonderlandStudios.com, where you can find just about everything.
LAW Studios. I already said that twice.
I'm just saying.
I appreciate you helping.
If you want to really just streamline it, we're done.
So long.
I'm Phoenix West.
I'm Adam Wilcox.
I'm Jansen Carlin.
Frank, go again. Nobody heard you.
I'm Frank Links.
One more time. I was told it too many times like you to do it. So long, citizens. I hate you guys.
That was good. That was fun.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
You got me halfway into my fucking halfway. I was like,
yeah, remember, we're still broadcasting. Just FYI. Yeah.
Thank you
I like
for
this show.
reminding me.
Keep it a little shorter.
Thank you for reminding me that.
No problem, man. If you're never sure, just look up in the corner and you see a little thing that says the broadcast is live up in the corner there.
Yeah.
And it after I end it, it'll be grayed out. So
exporting. Jansen, this thing saves so quick on
You're welcome, buddy.
Adobe Audition thing.
Yeah.
Audio is great, man. It was the best it's ever been. I'm gonna go tinkle. I'll be right back.
All right. I mean, Frank, you've been around while I saved from GarageBand. It took 10 minutes sometimes.
Mine takes forever, dude. AVS is great and all, but it's slow.
Yeah, this thing's working. I downloaded AVS, but I prefer the Adobe software because I'm paying for it anyway, so I might as well.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, if you're paying for it, I mean, you gotta pay for AVS anyway, but I think Adobe's a lot more. So
yeah, I might as well. It's working out really well so far. I mean, here's the clip. Let me get back to my D drive here. Commentary. Here's the review.
Attention to
Fuck this show.
It smells like a pearl, my good sir.
and this one, I didn't.
Starting to hit that up. I forgot about the pearl reference earlier. What the fuck does a pearl smell like, Frank?
I don't know, dude. It was a joke. That's what came to my mind. I thought of Johnny Depp, and I was like, I don't know, pearls. I was gonna say diamonds. Not that diamonds have a smell either, but I don't know. It was funny nonetheless.
Do you feel like hard-ons at jewelry stores? I never smelled anything.
Only if I get a deal, sir. Oh, no,
apparently Greg is on the same wavelength I am with sex scenes. I just don't need them. I don't need sex. I was joking earlier about seeing her nude.
Well, we're guys doing it. It's a joke.
I don't need it though. I don't need it.
Neither do I. If I want to watch, if I want to watch porn, I'll watch porn. I don't need porn shoved to me.
Last week, exactly. I think there's a difference between, especially this show, because it's violence. Like, I want to separate my sex and violence. I'm sorry. Like, get real fucked up not doing that.
I mean, it's in there because it was HBO and they can get away with it.
Yeah, but Game of Thrones titties and then fucking.
Well, that's different because the fucking basically shows you kind of pieces of shit they are. I mean, its character development is they use it's just not sex for sex sake.
Okay, sure.
I don't just trust me on this.
I've watched it.
Yeah, I just want to go over a volume real quick, because we're about to do the TZ, right?
Yeah.
So I just wanted my
test your shame.
Because I finally got my iPad back. Well, not my.
Oh,
I finally got another iPad. Remember, I told you I bought an iPad and I'm waiting for it to come in. So it came in. So.
I'm gonna be right back.
What's that?
What's that?
Go ahead and make sure its audio sounds fine.
Okay. I would say your audio, the quality is good.
It's too
I think your gain's even good. I think you could probably come away from the mic a couple of inches and you'll be fine.
Yeah, like with this one, like you can't hear me, right?
I can hear you barely, but if you come, I would say just about as far as I am from this one, you're gonna be perfect.
Like this.
Maybe a little bit.
Like, you see, like I have to be up on it because my wife podcasts right next to me for our main show. That's where Greg's from, so we have to be like this. Otherwise we'll bleed into each other's mic. You know what I mean? That's
so weird.
It's just what we have to do. I mean,
sure.
but like this is a new mixer, so
okay.
It's the first time I ever had a mid and a high and a low. So I've been messing with that. Like that's like really flat, I think.
Yeah, I would say if anything, like your
really
mids
hot.
and your highs are fine. It's the lows that you could probably still drop down some more because you have a deep voice as it is.
Yeah, like this, I'm probably higher now, right? Like,
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and then like this is the mid. The mid is weird. That's like whoop, and then you go. This is -10, and then that's +10, and that's
-10 sounds better.
Yeah, or like kind of like right there. It brings some of the bass out of me. You know what I mean? And then just the low, I think low, high, bassy.
Yeah.
But anyway, like and this is -10, and that was +10.
Okay.
So and that's like 0.
Yeah,
so.
the lows definitely come off that. I'd say the mids -10, highs you can probably leave right in the middle.
Okay, so it's kind of like be like no, that's the other way. Like right there. Okay, so
that's good.
And then it was that's too much. It's like maybe right there ish. I don't know.
That's pretty good.
If I do it like that, then it's like quacky, but then that's like real flat. So right in the middle. I don't know.
That's right there. Leave it.
All right, cool. Thanks. That's the first time I ever had that one that way. So yeah.
All right, it's ready to podcast.
Let's do it. Oh, I need to change out the brands, don't I? Might help.
Hold on, I gotta turn this air conditioner off. It's too cold in here.
Oh no, what a problem to have.
Too cold? What does that mean?
I wouldn't know what that is. I
don't understand that phrasing, sir.
I don't get it. Yeah.
So Adam, you're in Florida?
Uh-huh.
Oh fuck. How's that?
Yeah.
He's like slightly lower temperature, but the humidity makes it so much fucking worse.
If there's something you need to know about me, it's I've been to Florida once. So that should tell you everything you need to know about me.
Okay, gotcha.
I've been to Florida once, and that was enough for me.
I actually like it here. I'm sure in the summertime it can be challenging, especially when it's like 90 degrees and the fucking 90% humidity.
Yeah,
Tampa sucks. Oof.
Yeah,
terrible area.
Out of my dog between shows, so I'll just. Sorry, I completely cut the
supervising
conversation. I was looking at this.
We were having a conversation.
Yeah.
I lived in Miami for 2 months. That was enough for me.
Miami is something.
It rained. I was there 60 some days. It rained 47 or something days.
I went to Key West once. I fucking hated it there. Absolutely, fucking hated Key West. Fucking sucked. Dirty ass town. It's a dump.
Yeah.
Shit, I just vaped my camera out of focus. There we go.
Just vaped it out of existence.
The last time I was there, I went to a music store that was around the corner, and I played Billy Corgan's practice amp where he learned how to play guitar. and of course I played the today intro, ping, ding, ding, what I mean? Today is the greatest.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, he grew up in
He looks like he's never been in the sun his entire life.
I know. Yeah, he grew up like Fort Lauderdale area.
That guy looks like he's from like Barrow, Alaska, like 30 Days a Night.
I just want to interject, Frank. Your audio sounds perfect right now. I wouldn't touch it ever again.
Cool, thanks, man.
Yeah.
New mixer and all, so it's been a
Yeah,
while.
it sounded a lot better.
Thank you. Thanks for finally somebody help me. That's
I mean, I didn't do shit besides go. Yeah,
no.
it's
Phoenix, like, well, you're not echoing. I mean, you could probably sound better, but I'm not. I don't have.
I would have helped you, Frank, but I don't know shit about mixers.
Phoenix just doesn't have patience for anything, so that's the problem.
No, I have patience.
No, he's fine. Like when I actually have a problem, he's cool. He's like I like but
when we're recording, I'm like with Adam and all and live, I'm like, let's not fuck with it because it takes 2 hours sometimes. Let's not even fuck with it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but I mean, like but with everything, it takes using it a little bit to.
Yeah, with a podcast, it's not a big deal because you're recording it, you're going to upload it like way later. But like with a live stream, people are like sitting around like, these fuckers going to go on, or am I just going to sit here like a sucker?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I told you during the live, because Jansen and I were talking on the side, like it sounds too bassy. So we got it a little fixed then. Now it sounds great though.
Sounds great.
Thanks.
By the way, if you're watching, you're tuning in, what's going on is we're recording podcasts. This is the Loitering in Wonderland podcast, and they've been coming onto the channel and doing their show live just for funsies. So that's why we take a little break and come back. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
sorry, I had to do that.
Yeah, I just want to test the volume real quick because I didn't do that because my ADHD. So
I thought that's what you guys are doing. Okay.
We were adjusting the levels first, and now he wants to check.
Gotcha. I gotta get my notes up for Long Morrow.
I forgot to take notes. So
You're good. Doesn't matter. I only have a few, so
it was a pretty. I'm not gonna say anything yet.
Yeah. Save for the show.
All right.
Hello, Cam Wolfers.
yeah, did anybody hear that?
Hey, what?
Did that
I heard-
go through?
No, nothing did.
Yeah, I don't think that went through. I don't know why.
Not a sir. Not a surfer.
The fuck?
Anybody else remember that band? No. Not popular.
Oh, I got a new car.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I make football bets. Oh God,
It's terrible.
that song sucked.
The guy talks, but it's like he's giving life advice. This is how shitty the 90s were. He's giving life advice like, go out there, get that fucking cheerleader. Even if you don't believe her for life, you still have a fun time when you're in high school. Go out there and get her. And like that's what a song. It's fucking terrible.
It's like just eat chocolate, even though your mother tells you not to. Just eat the chocolate. It's like popular, and like it's but that back then it was the hook.
I remember the Crash Test Dummies.
Oh, I remember.
Once there was this boy who. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm jealous of you, Frank, because I can't hum because I have bad sinuses, so I can never hum properly. It just comes out all fucking goofy and embarrassing.
I'll play this real quick so YouTube doesn't boot us, but
Make up an elaborate story. This will help you avoid a big tear-jerking scene. If you want to date other
Oh, is
people,
that no? That's not what I'm thinking. Is it detachable penis?
To your exclusive company. But if you're honest and direct and avoid making
Nope.
emotional
It's not
speeches,
detachable penis.
honestly, he'll appreciate being your main friends. I'm popular.
I'm showing my age so bad.
okay, cutting it. I don't want to get banned by YouTube.
You
I don't want Adam to get in trouble.
They've been going crazy with DMCA strikes. this
Yeah, anything past like I think 4 seconds, and they're like losing their shit. So that's why I was trying to talk. I was talking over as much of it as I possibly could, just to be a dick.
No, it's you have more than 4 seconds.
Is that what it is? I don't know what the exact time
I'm
is. but
fairly
yeah.
aware of what the restrictions are, so I skipped around a bit.
I played a quote once by Lewis Black, and they fucking just took my fucking video right down from that one. I was like, oh man,
if you get anything less than 10 seconds, if you get a strike or anything, dispute it. You'll win every single time.
I didn't dispute that one. I just changed it. I just went in and set it myself. But
I had a problem with that American episode about Star Wars. Oh, Frank, we hear it.
Yeah, I had it plugged into the wrong.
Put in the wrong hole, foo.
Wrong hole, foe.
Wrong hole, foo.
I gotta tell you something. I'm pregnant already.
Damn.
I've been pregnant 16 times, foe.
I know what it's like. You guys,
What's that fucking movie on Amazon where that guy
a problem?
that DJ pretends to be a black woman and like he gets away? It's like supposed to be this really bad movie on Amazon. I need to watch it sometime.
What?
There's a movie where this white guy is pretending to be a black woman to like boost his ratings and shit. It's terrible.
Put on blackface?
No, he's just pretending to be his voice. He's pretending to be a black woman. It's supposed to be a comedy, but it's like really bad. What's his name? The critic. What the fuck's that guy's name? The Cinema Snob was talking about it.
Oh.
Yeah, it sounds. If it's like I always say, if it's terrible, I want to know about it. I want to watch every terrible, awful movie there is. It's just it's a goal.
Wrong hole, fool.
Nice.
You guys ever Don't Be a Menace?
Yep.
Central while drinking your juice in the hood, sir.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
That's what that clip's from. Wrong hole, fool. And then she
I haven't seen that since the 90s, though. Fuck.
Comes, rolls off her, and she's like, I have to tell you something. I'm pregnant.
I just imitated it. I just did the voice. What are you talking about? That was one of my shtick. I did it.
We're summarizing it. Jansen looks confused, so I'm just explaining it to him.
I stopped listening to you guys about 10 minutes ago.
That's the appropriate response.
Yeah. Checked out. Done. Moving on.
All right, yeah, so that sound check again.
And now, Mr. Surly.
Louder.
I'm out on the Twilight Zone, an unusual little item from the pen of Jerry McNeely, based on a story by Henry Slazar, and called, intriguingly enough, The Self-Improvement of Salvador Ross. This one poses a question. If you don't like what you are, how do you go about changing?
A little louder, or everyone good?
Good.
I mean, I went loud, and then I came back a little bit, and Jansen went like this, and I went like that.
Play it.
Don Gordon portrays a man who really goes the route when it comes to basic changing, and the results are most unexpected.
Sorry. Okay, play it one more time.
And now, Mr. Surly. Next time out on the Twilight Zone, an unusual little item from the pen of Jerry McNeely, based on a story by Henry Slazar, and called, intriguingly enough, The Self-Improvement of Salvador Ross.
Okay. So let's hear that on my side. If it does it.
Time out on the Twilight Zone, an unusual little item from the pen of Jerry McNeely, based on a story by Henry Slazar.
Oh yeah, were you just recording that or what?
Yeah.
Oh
no, yeah, that wasn't me. That was Phoenix.
That was me. Sound good?
Well, I don't know. You didn't play the whole thing through.
I'm just gonna sit here quietly.
Well, towards the end, anyway.
Okay.
Play the last 5 seconds.
I just did. You talked over it.
My bad.
Time out on the Twilight Zone, an unusual little item from the pen of Jerry McNeely, based on a story by Henry Slazar, and called, intriguingly enough, The Self-Improvement of Salvador Ross.
Okay.
It's like, Phoenix, I know you didn't because I know what he says. It's like that wasn't the last 5 seconds.
That was the last 5 seconds before you touched the volume. You didn't touch the volume that entire time.
No, I did. I touched the volume. I hit the high and I hit the low.
So you touched the volume after we said it sounds good. That's a psychopathic way of handling your mixer.
When you were doing it, I turned the volume up and I messed a little bit with the sound quality, and then
okay, go ahead and play it now. Then
do you guys
don't fucking touch anything?
trust me blind.
Reluctant here.
No, Mr. Surly. Next time out on the Twilight Zone, an unusual little item from the pen of Jerry McNeely, based on a story by Henry Slazar, and called intriguingly enough the self-improvement.
So, yeah. Okay.
Surly. Next time out on the Twilight Zone, an unusual little item from the pen of Jerry McNeely, based on a story by Henry Slazar, and called intriguingly enough.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's exactly the same voice as you. So
perfect.
Yep.
All right. So as soon as there we go, as soon as you're ready, Adam. We're only at hour 9. That's perfect. Okay. Let me know when you're you guys are ready. I'll start playing the theme song.
Good to go.
Good to go.
Why do they get the respect like that?
I hit the button.
You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. That's a signpost up ahead. Your next stop, dark territory.
I know she's not deaf or dumb or retarded or anything.
They deserve the respect.
Bordering in Wonderland, the Twilight Zone review.
Hello, citizens. Welcome to LIW.
It may be said with a degree of assurance that not everything that meets the eye is as it appears. Case in point, the scene you're watching. This is not a hospital, not a morgue, not a mausoleum, not an undertaker's parlor of the future. What it is the belly of a spaceship. It is en route to another planetary system, an incredible distance from the Earth. This is the crux of our story, a flight into space. It is also the story of the things that might happen to human beings who take a step beyond, unable to anticipate everything that might await them out there.
I remember things. It's more than just void, darkness, unconsciousness. The mind does work. There are images, patterns, things to recollect. It's not just the long, deep sleep that comes when the fear has left. The cold is felt, the slipping away of feeling is noted and then succumbed to. The mind functions. Time is distorted, jumbled, telescoped, accordion, but there is a sense of time even so. And I remember things. I remember the way it began. I remember the way it was in the beginning.
Commander Douglas Stansfield, astronaut. A man about to embark on one of history's longest journeys. 40 years out into endless space and hopefully back again. This is the beginning. The first step toward man's longest leap into the unknown. Science has solved the mechanical details, and now it's up to one human being to breathe life into blueprints and computers. To prove once and for all that man can live half a lifetime in the total void of outer space. 40 years alone in the unknown. This is Earth. Ahead lies a planetary system. The vast region in between is the Twilight Zone.
I forgot our format. Hello, citizens. Welcome to LIW, the Twilight Zone review, episode 171. I'm Phoenix West.
I'm Break Links.
I'm Jansen Carlin.
No, man, Wilcox.
Welcome to the show for the Long Morrow, Twilight Zone episode 515, which means we're almost done. We don't have many more left. That is exciting because it ran for 5 years. We just hit our 5-year anniversary at some point, somewhere. This month. I don't know when it is, but happy birthday to us.
I remember it was in the summer. Yeah.
It was June of 2015 when I first started this, but we're almost done. I can't wait. I can't wait to venture into the dark, scary 80s seasons.
Oh God, yeah. It's when I pulled the Blu-ray out, I was like, oh yeah, that one's next. It's still in the wrapping, but yeah. By the way, that beginning is a lot longer than that. Like I had to cut that down hard just to get its entire intro in. But I wanted to get the the guy's thinking because he's laying there in like a cryogenic like glass box because he's an astronaut or whatever. Like we'll get into that, trust me. But yeah, like I thought it was really good writing, and that was Rod. Rod might as well have said everything he said. You know what I mean? And I thought it was a really good, just to get just the premise of this episode and the feel of it out of the way and what's going on and everything. I thought it really worked with Rod's intro because it was so fucking long. You know, that's what I did.
Yeah, I could tell you did some edits there, but you did a good job. I feel like I redeemed myself for when I fucked you over on one of those edits you did. Adam remembers that probably.
What do you mean?
You were so proud of some edit you did, but I was so impatient of listening to. It was one of those days we had just audio problems, and we just like, fuck it, I don't even give a shit. Just play the clip.
You're impatient?
As far as Adam, you don't get to laugh. You're way more impatient than I am.
Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true. I have the patience of a fly on speed.
Yeah. And then I played it. I remember what it was. It was the one. It was because it was a fourth season, so we were already what the fuck.
No, fifth season. It was like 3 episodes ago.
Oh, was it?
This just happened 2 weeks ago.
It was the grandfather clock one, I think.
It feels like forever ago.
Yeah, no, I missed that one with you because I was
the grandfather clock episode just slowed down time for all of us. We're just like, fucking grandfather clock, fuck you.
Season 5 can suck a fucking dick. So this is good. I like this one.
Adam, we've been doing this together for almost like six months now, dude. I'm telling you. It's been
yeah. Adam's been on for. It feels like Adam's been on for years, but it's really only been 15 episodes.
I have that effect on people, Phoenix. I don't know what to tell you.
It feels like a nightmare, Adam. It feels like a nightmare.
It's worse. It gets worse. Trust me.
So this episode, right? Wow. Just wow. Like
okay, let's put a pin in this. I know you're just starting, but let's slow down here because I'm curious because I know what you're gonna say. I want to take a moment here before we get to what the fuck you're gonna say. Because you texted me and you had some issues. Say, I fucking love this episode. I love it. Anybody else? Frank, you go last, and then you do your whole spiel about your time travel issues. Adam?
I like this one a lot as well. I thought this had it did a lot with very little, if that makes any sense. Like there's only a small cast, a solid story, while depressing but well executed. And I liked all of the people's performances in this show a lot, so that carried it for me as well. I did not enjoy any of it. I didn't predict it, honestly. I don't think I've seen this episode before, so I didn't predict it. I kind of started to predict it towards the end, but I wasn't upset by its outcome either.
Yeah.
So and also, thank you, Rod Serling. You didn't explain what happened before we watched it. That's a big peeve of mine. Don't tell me what the show's about. Don't give me the twist when it starts. Let it unfold at its own pace. So, good on you.
I agree. Jansen will get to you in 1 second, but I completely agree with everything Adam has said, wherever you are on my screen. It was set up properly. Rod, I feel like they know when they have good episodes, and they write Rod's script to be like, here's general things you can say. You don't have to spoil the whole fucking thing like he does in some of the episodes that we've handled recently. But I completely agree. Jansen, what did you think overall? And I guess to start off, because it's your first time on this show, explain kind of where you are with it, like we did in the Tales from the Crypt. Explain where you are on Twilight Zone.
Sure.
All that.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched some Twilight Zone episodes in the past. I'm just now going back through everything you guys have watched on the side, just to kind of get caught up before you guys wrap up this series. I want to be, have as much knowledge as what you guys have had. So I've been watching, starting from season 1 to catch all the way up, and I've enjoyed it so far. There's obviously a bunch of episodes that fall flat, but some really good stories that come out of it too. Really interesting ones. This one I feel like was one of the good ones. I think it was a good story. I think it was a simple story. I think it was a simple story that we all know. It was very Shakespearean, Romeo and Juliet.
I have that in my notes.
Yeah, so I thought that was good and bad. I kind of saw it coming for sure, as far as the ending. But overall, I thought it was executed well, and it was enjoyable to watch.
Perfect. Yeah, you liked it overall. All three of us did. Frank, now's your time to shine. Tell us
negative
why
Nancy.
this
Let's go.
episode sucked.
Fuck this episode.
Wow.
No, guys, quiet. We had our time. Let's
All right.
be fair to Frank. This is his time.
Rolling
to,
out the red carpet for you, Frank. Go for it.
Shit on our episode.
Okay.
Doesn't even apologize.
This is the laziest fucking written I should say episode I've ever seen. The entire episode is, and this cheese ball with his fucking I'm gonna pick you up tonight and we're fucking like what the fuck, dude? Like
smooth,
dude. He like I'm like should I steal these lines from this man or good God, y'all? But my biggest fucking problem is nothing with matter can go faster than the speed of light. And 9 times the speed of light is a fucking joke. And 40 years relativity, the theory of relativity and all that, right? Is if he would have done his mission for 20 years out, 20 years back, by the time he came back to go that fast and everything, if he really did, the Earth would be gone. like the sun would have swallowed it up and everything because the amount of millennia that would pass, and that's what I had a big problem with. So I know it's very nitpicky, but and Jupiter doesn't have volcanoes on it, by the way.
True. Both of those things you just mentioned are true. Let me translate to people who speak English. You have a problem with the theory of relativity,
yes,
and how time happens when you're outside of Earth,
and especially your reference frame of point. Like,
no, I completely agree. So they don't scientifically make any sense, and that is true.
And this is in 64, like the theory of relativity is like 1913. You know what I mean? Like this was the theory of relativity was I mean, we had already sent probes to fucking. I think we had already launched but anyway, we had the science down. We had the mathematics and everything that Serling wrote is bullshit.
It sounds like they might have just got lazy with the technical side of things, and if they had,
like I'm saying, it's very nitpicky as shit. Trust me. Sure. I mean, the biggest pet peeve is Jupiter just doesn't have volcanoes on it. Io does, but not Jupiter. Jupiter doesn't.
This came out before we even landed on the moon, so.
Well, but
but they knew stuff. Everything that Frank is mentioning, they knew already. That is true. Everything I've looked into it as well. They knew all already. They knew Jupiter's a gas planet. It does not have a surface for volcanoes. It doesn't have any of that shit.
Yeah, and they point to nebula. They just point to nebula hanging up on the. He's like, solar system. There's Earth, and he pointed to the same fucking spot on the wall.
I got a question. So, not to discount what you're thinking, I agree with you. I would say if technicality aside, the plot I thought was good, but the technicality side of it definitely could have fixed a lot of things. So, my question is, during this time frame, right? This is the 1950s,
1964, I believe.
64. Okay. Yeah. What's our access to that information? Is this a low budget company not able to get that kind of access, or should that be common knowledge?
This is CBS that knows this shit.
Okay.
Yeah, and plus everybody back then. Yeah, and everybody back then, they had space fever, man. Like everybody was into this shit. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it was just.
Why I say I 100% agree with everything Frank's saying. They knew this. It feels lazy, but I think, and it feels like other guys are on board. That's such a minor part of this episode. It is an emotional core episode about 2 characters in love. I even have in my notes what Jansen brought up: Romeo and Juliet. They're going.
I was getting that vibe too. Yeah,
that's it. That's all it is. In the space stuff, yes, it's inaccurate, and I get that, and I get why Frank has a problem with it. But this episode isn't. It shouldn't be focused on that. It's a character study, and it's a love story. And that's the part I really enjoy out of this episode. I find it fascinating, that part of it.
And I had the clip in the beginning when they first meet, because when they first meet, dude, it's hysterical.
Should you set up the episode first?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You got Adam's right. I was going to set it up real quick if you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
So we have a frame of reference for that clip. You're setting up when they meet, right? That's the clip you're going to play.
Yeah, I mean, because like I have the things that I just brought up, like those clips, but there's no reason to play them,
Okay.
So.
No, that's fine. If you want to play them, go right ahead. I'm just going to get there.
No,
our main character. Let me pull up his fucking name because I don't remember it.
I don't
Played by
either.
Robert Lansing. His name is Commander Douglas Stansfield. He goes into some guy's office, and the guy doesn't have posters on the wall. He has wires hanging with transparent sheets, like an overhead projector sheet, with a light behind it, a light wall. And I was just sitting there staring at it. I watched this episode twice, and I was like, "What the fuck is he have?" Like, it's bizarre, but he has planets and stuff on him, which seems like a very weird way to do this. And then he's like, all right, you're going to go out here 40 years away. It's 20 years there, 20 years back. You're going to go see if there's an inhabitable planet in this galaxy. You're going to go there, and you're going to come back, and you're going to see if we can survive there. You let us know. It seems like a really long phone call, essentially. And then Robert Lansing's character is like, all right, I guess I'll have to do that. And he seems like he's 45. This character, right?
He looks like late 30s, early 40s for sure.
He is not late 30s, sir. Then again, it's the 60s. He could be.
Well, I mean, like, you mean the actor or
the actor.
How much?
I mean, during this time, high school kids look like they were in their 30s.
Late 30s for heavy smokers.
Yeah, like Serling did not, cast age. he didn't care what you look like. You're 27 or 37. I don't give a shit if you're 50.
He was, holy shit. He's a year older than I am. He looks like a fucking man. I do not. He looks like a fucking man. I look like a man child. What the fuck is wrong with us now? But he apparently he's a year older than I was when he filmed this. But he's supposed to go out there. He agrees to do it. And before he goes, he seems like he has no family and all that. That's why they kind of choose him. This is kind of the setup for Idiocracy in a little bit.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of Interstellar. Yeah. You have two kids and a grandpa, but you need to go. Like, yeah, sorry, leaving you. I know mom's dead. Bye.
Say goodbye to your ungrateful child who will learn to appreciate you down the line.
Yeah, it's like exactly why did they need to pick this?
I hate that fucking movie. I don't care. I don't.
What you hate Interstellar?
Yeah,
I love that movie.
Oh, blow yourself! It was a great movie.
Great movie.
Great fucking movie.
But
Matt Damon, I hate Matt fucking Damon. Ugh.
I don't disagree with that, but he goes. And he before he goes, he doesn't have any family. It seems like, and he meets a girl. He meets this it's the 60s. He meets a girl. Who knows what the fuck her name is? It doesn't matter. And they fall.
He didn't have to go very far either. She's in the fucking hallway, like right outside
the guy's office, and is like, "Hey, a warm hole. How you doing?" That's as far as
it was, dude. There was so much cheese. There was so much cheese. I'm like, oh my god.
He girl, me like pretty.
Smells like vagina, and he looked around like, like.
I mean,
look for Monica.
She's a looker. I mean,
yeah, I like
she's a
her
looker
a lot.
because they put the Vaseline filter on her compared to him. Where
I noticed that too.
That old school 60s filter they used to put on every female in every TV show, like give them that glow. It's like I wanted to see her freckles. She had freckles, and I love freckles. I don't care.
I said the same thing to my girlfriend. Sorry, Jansen. What?
No, I was gonna say. Then they swap back to his face, and half of him is covered in shadow.
Yeah. Well, and her face and his face, they have like a reflected light, like the sun. Like, oh, it's just a little bit of light. And hers are like, let's put a 20,000 K, the sun on her face, so we see no features. We could tell it's an outline of a human. That's really about it.
This bitch will have skin cancer by the time we're done.
Still,
she died of cancer in the 90s.
There's a from that shot.
There you go.
that one shot killed the bitch, and then he's like, "I love you." Did they talk about anything meaningful? If you could play that clip, I'd appreciate it.
Do it.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
it.
All right. Oh fuck me. I'm sorry.
While you're looking, real quick, they have Rod intro voice,
Sorry.
and then a scene, and then Rod talking again, which is weird.
That was a little odd. They don't do that very often, do they?
I mean, they did a lot of season 3. Remember, because they had to put it up a lot, Phoenix, or they'll play like they would play a lot of the episode before his intro, and they still kind of do that.
Season 3 was on the fringe, where they felt like they were trying to save their contract with CBS. Season 5 just seems lazy. So he talks in voiceover, and then you hear the character, and then you see Rod on camera, and you're like,
"Sorry,
why are you here?" No, you're good. Go ahead and play the clip if you have it.
No. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Finish.
That's all I was saying. Is it's just bizarre that you would go to him twice, and once in voiceover.
It doesn't help that it's like the worst camera angle of him too.
All of them are. It's season 5. He's on a different side. He's in 2 time zones away.
Yeah, he's in fucking Ohio somewhere.
He's in Ohio. They're recording in LA on CBS studio lots in Burbank, and he's
teaching something, writing
at college.
Yeah, for free.
2,500 miles away. So they literally will go, "Here's your script, Rod." He turned into a half-written script, and they go, "All right, air it." And you're like, "Oh, this is bad." I'm just saying this for Jansen's sake, because he's new to season 5.
Yeah, they're not fans of season 5.
Season 4 is, I get the judgments for it. Season 4 is the only hour-long episode. That's why it's not on Netflix. It's an hour long. The rest are 25 minutes. Season 5, Rod had already moved on, literally across the country, moved his family to Ohio, and was like, "You guys have fun with your show. I'm going to take some time away," because he wrote so many scripts in such a short time frame. They're doing 36 to 39 episodes a year.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted some time away. He moved away, and then he would still turn in scripts, but they were like neutered versions, like 18 pages for 25 minutes, which is rough if you know television. But they wouldn't alter them because they were like scared to upset the man. So we're left with season 5, which is these terrible scripts that seem really first drafty, as we've noticed throughout the last 15 episodes.
You can tell how a great producer really matters.
And Buck Houghton was the producer for 1 through 3, right? Or was he there for season 4?
Yeah, 4 made him quit.
4 made him. Yeah, I think he left at some point in 4, but
it was. Yeah, I think so.
He wasn't there for season 5. There's no producer saying let's rewrite these Rod scripts. They're good, but let's fix this. So you're left with neutered scripts, with rushed production schedules because they're trying to do 39 again halfway through the year. So you're watching this and you're like, "Oh, this is bad." And then he's shooting his intros across the country. So if you freeze frame through some of the early season 5 episodes, you'll see the characters on scene, and then the camera pans over, and you'll see this a fucking cameraman with a studio, like a 2K, standing there holding it against Rod's face. You'll see the guy's face.
Yeah.
And then it cuts over to Rod, and like they were so rushed, and it just feels everything feels so rushed. And
I mean, you can even see that with like the set design and development. I mean, there's only maybe three sets in this entire episode.
Yeah, there's 2 rooms in a hallway.
Yeah,
it feels like they're getting the script 3 days before they shoot, and they're like, "All right, what the fuck do we got?" Like running around like
that hallway looks good. Let's figure it out.
Yeah. This bitch been frozen for 40 fucking years, and she wakes up and she's running.
The reason I ignore the science,
over. Yeah,
the science that you mentioned, Frank, is because it's season 5. I think if this were early season 1 through 3, they had more time. Rod was more involved. He had his brother to talk to.
Yeah.
He had other people to bring in. They had that group, I forget what it's called, where they would bring in and do the science on it and go, "Hey, this is what would really happen." But by season 5, they were just fucking rushing.
Yeah.
So this is why we're left with this. That's why it doesn't bother me as much, only because I know this shit. So it doesn't bother me as much as season 5. I just watch it and I go, "Okay, ignore that."
Yeah, I mean, I
just bother me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they had the time. Yeah, and they were trying. They were seriously trying anyway.
Yeah.
Season 5 is like, we this is Marvel and DC is now, where they're just going off of what the name, I guess, and whatever the fuck they're doing, because hey, it's become its own entity now. It's not.
If we build it, they will come.
Exactly, and that's how like new movies are anyway.
Yep. Yeah. Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't know, Twilight Zone.
But you have the clip of her meeting him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is them.
If not, we'll talk about it. Whatever.
Yep.
I don't believe we've met. Are you permanently stationed here?
I'm with the space agency. And you're?
Stansfield, Commander, USN.
Good job, Frank.
Oh,
All our needs.
you're the one.
I don't know whether I should thank you for that or report you for insubordination.
Me women pretty.
I always wanted to meet you.
Well, and I've always wanted to meet you, too. Now, that's true. I have ESP, and a long time ago, I woke up early one morning, and some inner voice told me with some intensity that I would meet a girl with a stricken look who would drop papers in corridors.
I like your mouth. So smooth.
Did your ESP tell you the name?
Picture glaring light in this woman. You fucking him?
Subtle astronaut.
About like this.
It's an honor meeting you.
Not like this.
Yes, Jake. Bitch. Oh my God,
I don't suppose that the space agency could do without your services for a couple of hours.
This
They
is
just long
the
enough for
cheesiest
dinner.
shit I've ever seen. Yes.
Well, despite the fact that I am invaluable and that the whole space program rests on me alone, I think a 2 or 3 hour period could be carved out. I'm in the book, Commander. Please phone.
No, I won't call. I'll pick you up. I'll be there at 8. Arrivederci, lady from the space agency.
At 8 o'clock. Astronaut.
My God.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Oh God. Oh, I'm gonna throw up.
You are 31 years old, Commander.
You are 31 years old.
That was my initial reaction to that.
Yeah, I could tell that was really getting to you. The filter looked about like this.
Like she's like, oh yeah, say arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Yep. You're beautiful.
Arrivederci.
You're beautiful with that filter on.
I would definitely play drunken hide the pick with you, sir.
Oh yeah, I liked her a lot. I was just mad that I couldn't see some more of the freckles. I wanted to see like her facial details, but yeah, those filters. I guess it was old school TV that a lot of details didn't get revealed. Filter all the women, make sure there's no blemishes or pores or anything. I don't know.
They had some left over from the soap opera they just filmed on the set next door.
It's almost like they filmed this shit in Hollywood or something, man.
Well, they could have pulled like a last season of Star Trek where like whatever show just wrapped, they would just like hurry up and go on there and write the episode around whatever bullshit was there. Western one week. Yeah, Nazis 1 week, Western the next week, gangster movie the next week.
Yeah, exactly. That's also CBS where they just fucking threw. CBS is
so fucking annoying, dude.
If you go in the CBS lot, they have one lot in the background, same as Fox, where it's just an outside New York City set, which is on Fox. It's where they shot Bruce Almighty, like that outside. His apartment. That's what this looks like on the Fox back lot.
Yep.
CBS is very similar. They have that one set that they had on One for the Angels. That stoop. And that's it. And it looks like New York City. That's all they have there. Everything else, they have studio lots, and they go, what the fuck else did you film? Pull it in here inside. And that's literally what they did.
They used the Back to the Future lot like 5-6 different episodes.
Yep.
You can tell.
Yeah. And Universal was more than fucking happy to rent that out to anybody who would show up. CBS like, every week will be
fucking
there.
Universal. Oh.
Well, yeah, it was funny. It was the fucking pilot of this entire episode was Universal's lot.
Yeah, they used it a bunch. And I don't blame them. It looks good when you're there. I mean, you get rid of that fucking... Nowadays, I can't imagine. Like, get rid of the fucking fat Midwesterners off the fucking toured bus and then get them to shut up so we can film a scene. can't imagine what it was like back then when there's no tour bus or Universal Studios. But yeah, it feels it's a very minimal sets. There's the guy's office. They go outside in the hallway and they have like kind of a futuristic set where it's all silver, but it looks it's minimal and it gets the job done.
Yeah,
there's not a lot involving, but you get the idea. It's not really about the details in this episode,
right? It wants to make you focus on the characters more. So
exactly,
yeah.
And Frank, I've been saying since we started doing shows 4 years ago or so, I appreciate the episodes that are narrow focus on the characters, and that's all I really look for. Everything else, like the science and stuff, can be wrong. And if I watch a movie,
I said
sorry, what?
Like I was saying, it has no bearing on the episode whatsoever. It was just, I thought
it's wrong. The science is wrong. We can't deny that. It's just, it's about the characters and how he meets her. They clearly both are like, holy shit, this person changes my entire life outlook. And which is kind of a sweet moment, honestly. I'm not very tender as a person, but I appreciate it when I watch stuff.
Yeah, this was one of those, exactly. This was one of those sentimental. That's it.
Yeah,
sentimental episodes that are.
And he's gonna go out, and he'll be 40 years older when he comes back, and she's like,
and fuck her, man. And she's like, oh man, I can't even get it up anymore. Fuck.
She's like, he will be the same age, as far as she knows. He's going to be the same age. She's going to freeze himself there, freeze himself back. He'll be 2 days older when he gets back.
And
She'll be 40 years older. She'll have a dry hole. And what's he going to do? He's going to be all...
He was reserved to never see her again, so that's why he took himself out of cryo and made himself that old. So when he got back, he didn't have to worry about still being in love with her.
And I still have issues with that science because... why the fuck do they have enough food for 80 years?
How do you how does one in cryo take themselves out of cryo?
He must have. They
didn't really go into detail on that one.
I'm glad that you said that because I was thinking that too, and I'm like, am I overthinking this? Nah, it'll be fine. Go with it.
The episode doesn't.
I'm like, that's impossible. There's no way.
And that's what I want to say. This episode is so amazing is because it makes me ignore all those little demons in the back of my mind going, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. But I ignored all that. And I'm like, oh, this is like really sweet. Even though it has this horrendous ending with severe communication where they do not talk to each other.
You had it right. It's communication.
They needed to talk. And one conversation would have solved this entire episode, but they did not do that.
Remember they set that up that there was problems with the communication plot armor,
before he left.
That movie with Mel Gibson in it, Forever Young.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh, that was this episode, but
no, I don't know if I go that far, but it kind of is. You're right, it kind of is, but yeah, it's not that bad though.
It's pretty much exactly that is, sir. Except he didn't go to space; he was a test pilot.
Yeah, that whole miscommunication thing definitely plays into the Romeo and Juliet thing, though.
Yeah.
So, but when we get to that part, like I have a total problem with that entire ending.
And there are problems with this episode, and I do not deny that. I'm just saying, when I watch this, I ignore all that, which is rare for me.
I did too. I didn't even think about the whole the space travel and theory of relativity and all that shit until Frank brought it up. So.
I was thinking about it when I'm watching it. I'm going, Frankie's gonna have such a fucking issue with this. But also,
see, now I know that about Frank. I won't make that mistake again. Frank's got to be covered when it comes to logistics.
I have like a Frank filter back here that just goes. Frank is gonna have an issue, but I was like, I like this. I don't like make his.
Wait for it. There it is.
Yeah. Frank filters talking incoherently in the back of my head. Yeah,
that's funny.
But I'm not like a romantic guy, but I cry at like every single movie I watch, pretty much for the most part. If I'm being honest, like a little teared up a little bit. So
unless you're jerking off to Schindler's List,
I was just gonna say, but you jerk off to Schindler's List.
That was as a teenager. This is now as an adult who.
Oh,
slightly
Wait, there's a
masturbates to
difference?
Holocaust crimes.
But like every Mission Impossible movie, you're balling like a little girl, right?
No, I'll watch. You're not
Fast
far
and
off.
Furious.
I know.
I'm to be honest, you're not far off. Really, anything that has like a sacrifice or something, I'm like, like I do get choked up when I watch this, and I'm like,
Who hurt you?
I just gave up so much without communication, and that's where the big tragedy is for the episode is they don't communicate their plans for the next 40 years. I'm
Honestly,
like, you guys are dumb.
they should
It's just
have.
like, hey, what are you going to be up to? Like that would have solved everything.
Yeah.
Look, this guy just wanted to get some bone before he was about to bounce for 40
That's
years.
the thing. Like, I don't think he thought he was going to fall for it. He probably thought, I'm going to be in deep sleep for 40 years. I'm going to get some tail before I take off. But it never comes across as that's what he's trying to do, ever. One, because it's 1964. Two, it's primetime TV. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking, oh, I see what you're trying to do here. Literally the first woman you walk it up to. Like,
I'm really sure Serling wrote this exactly with that in mind. You know?
yeah, he's probably awkward with relationships. I'm getting that impression.
Serling, awkward period.
Yeah, he's an awkward fellow. You're an awkward fellow.
Well, awkward, but he also had children and a wife and a house and all that by then. So he was writing a character that was like him without.
It's because he's rich.
He had that before that. Like as he was building up, kind of like Wes Craven, where he had kids and then moved out into LA and got a career.
He moved the whole family from Chattanooga all the way across country. With the one episode with William Shatner. That was literally like something.
Nightmare? Yeah, Nightmare.
No, the other. Yeah, right.
Nick of Time.
Yeah, Nick of Time. Yeah,
you gotta watch these episodes and then memorize the titles. It'll help you out a lot with that.
Don't try it, Jansen. I've tried. It's painful. It doesn't. It won't end well for you.
I can't even remember names.
I can't see how that's going to add anything positive.
They refer to him by name, and I'm like, which one's that again? Then they have to describe the twist so that I know what fucking episode they're talking
the one
about.
where they sit down and they talk to the devil thing, and they pull William Shatner.
Yep.
Yeah,
I know that. See, now I know it. Now that you said that, I can picture the episode.
That's why I say if you're gonna watch it for the first time, like Jansen is, try to memorize the titles. I'm giving them a little heads up there. Just try.
I'm gonna try to memorize the titles so that I could really get into this last 20 episodes that you guys have left of this.
Oh no,
we're also doing 80s,
and
then
are we? Okay.
Yes.
And
memorize all of those,
also-
Jensen. No fucking pressure. Yeah.
And you gotta catch up with Peels because Peels season 2 is about to fucking be released sometime real soon, right?
Great
Are you
point.
guys
Frank.
doing Peels 2 right now? Or are you waiting on that one?
Oh yeah, we're doing right. Right.
If you don't mind, Frank, let me step in.
I'm sorry.
Frank's got a great point. Where the fuck? I cannot point to the right direction because it's backward for me. Frank down there has a correct point if you're watching the video. I didn't even think about Peel, but so Jansen, because you're not a Twilight Zone snob like Frank and I are. We got our 60s Twilight Zone, which is the Rod Serling series, which is five seasons.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. 156 episodes. That's
of
it.
which I'm only going to watch 4 seasons.
Yes, but season 4, I'll give you 3 episodes on something. You can watch them, and then you're caught up.
Okay.
The other ones we have are 80s episodes, which I know nothing about. So after this initial Rod Serling run, we'll all be in the same page. All of us, all 4 of us.
Nice.
We have no idea what they are.
I know that they were very bad.
Yeah, and then we have our 2001, 2002 series with Forrest Whitaker, which I know nothing about as well. I watched some episodes when they aired, but no memory. And then we, obviously we have the Twilight Zone movie and stuff and all that sort of stuff, but we're not going to get into that. But then the 4th iteration is the Jordan Peele 2019 version, which is only 10 episodes. You can watch that for free if you have Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Just go ahead and watch 10 episodes.
Are you plugging Amazon Prime right now?
I don't give a shit. We're not getting paid by Amazon Prime, but yes, they are on there. But go ahead and watch them. 10 episodes, and then we're gonna starting. Adam, you and I start talking about this when they're airing. Is it June 26th? I want to say.
I think you said that, unless it got delayed, like everything else did.
That was the delayed release date though.
You're
They were
right. You're right.
April.
Now, I remember
they're
now. Yeah. Okay.
I can look it up right now, but I think it's
June sounds familiar. Yeah.
So eventually we're gonna start doing like Jordan Peele episodes and one of the classic ones, or depending on where we are in the series.
Gotcha.
So Jordan Peele.
It'll be fun to review some episodes with you guys that you haven't seen, because sometimes I feel like I don't have them all.
I never saw it.
straight. Yeah.
Yeah, like this past episode, I've never seen this one.
Yes, this is one of my favorite episodes of the entire series. So much so that my first note is I wrote a poem story. You guys have bought my books, the two on the right there, or left, wherever you are. I write poetry books. One of my poems chapters is about this episode, and I kind of knew that watching it, but I was watching it going, "Oh, this is very similar."
Can you please read the poem now?
No,
do it.
It's long, but I also have started a podcast where I wrote scripts and I'm reading it out and writing it, and it's basically this episode. A guy goes into space, long trip out, long trip back, and it's very long. And I'm like, this is very similar.
Quote of the night, Phoenix West. It's very long.
Yeah.
Don't plug it or anything.
Like I didn't just borrow from this a little bit. Like I almost need to ask CBS at this point.
I pretty much ripped this entire script off.
Yeah, it's
It wasn't a script to ripped off.
I'm gonna get a cease and desist order if I put out that sort of thing. But so I really like this episode. I guess is what I'm saying. I really, really like this episode. It's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
That's where I'm at with it.
To each his own, really.
It's fine that you're wrong.
It's great. Have fun with that. But season 2 debuts on 25th, June 25th, and it looks like all 10 episodes just show up on June 25th. So we'll review them 1 week at a time.
Sweet. I'll just
if there's 10 episodes,
he better have been trolling us, dude. I swear to God. I really hope he was trolling us, dude. I really do.
Well, seeing his tweets lately, and Adam, you can attest to this, with the Colorado Space review we did, we also noticed some things that Jordan Peele said. You want to go into that? No?
Does it have anything to do with what's going on right now?
I mean, it does, but
I don't want to hear about it. I don't care.
Peripheral. No,
we'll skip it.
What's the guy? I can't think of the guy's fucking name for some reason right now. The guy that wrote Color Out of Space.
Oh, that's God, my old man brain fart.
Old racist guy. What the fuck?
Yeah, old racist guy. H.P. Lovecraft.
H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Jordan Peele's trying to make something that like sheds a light on H.P. Lovecraft's racism. So that makes me go, okay, the new Twilight Zone series season is not going to be any better. We're probably just stuck with more of the same.
It's going to be bullet point of the week.
So I haven't watched a single episode of the new Twilight Zone. I was interested, but I just haven't.
Have you been on Twitter in the last 2 years?
Yes.
You watched season 1 of the Twilight Zone then?
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of thought, I was like, is this going to
be hot button Twitter issue of the week? And that's the kind of stuff that I hate.
That's what I was going to ask. Is like, because the same thing's happening with like Black Mirror. Like it's the same type of.
Well, that's different though. That's totally different though. I mean, Black Mirror. I wouldn't say Black Mirror is kind of cool though.
Well, Black Mirror is cautionary. I don't hate it. I just those episodes make me extremely uncomfortable with my environment.
Because it is your environment.
That's why I hate it. I have enough things to be afraid about and angry about. I don't want more of it in my life.
Yeah. Too bad. You're going to have to figure it out. So,
Fuck you. I make my own decisions.
well, please don't, because this is the decision that this is the path.
No, I have a very strong animosity to shows and art and books and things that preach at me and force me to take sides. I grew up in a time where you could do politics in entertainment and not force somebody to take
that though. I'm sorry.
It kind of is. It kind of is. It lost me. I didn't continue.
No.
I didn't continue the show.
I would say I would say it hit from both angles. I mean, just like one of the latest Black Mirrors, the one where the British guy, right? I don't know if you've seen that one or not.
No, I stopped watching. I watched about 3 or 4 of them, and I don't like them.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hold on, Frank. Was it super technologically based and depressing?
No.
What?
I disagree. That's why I stopped watching it, because it's very it's technophobia.
The one that I was
and it's
talking
depressing.
about isn't.
All the ones that I saw were so.
Hold on. There's one of 2 episodes that aren't like that.
No, there's a couple like that.
So
it's just a mirror version of the shitty side of people, which I see enough of as it is. I don't want to regurgitate more of it. You know.
I'm kind of in the middle of you guys. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Frank, but I know what you're gonna say. I'm kind of in the middle of you guys though, where I'm not quite like Adam. I don't quite go fuck that show, but I'm not like Frank, where I'm not like that show's great. I'm kind of in the middle where I'm like, I get where this is going, and I just don't care.
Fair enough.
Just don't care,
and that's totally cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, medium.
Yeah, I just thought
not a bad show.
I just like it because it's literally within. It's kind of cool to see what we're going to have to figure out in the next 20 years.
That's what I say. I know what you're going to say because you brought it up many times. I don't agree. We're going to have to deal with this shit in our lifetimes.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, that's part of the problem too. Is I'm more of my preferences, Frank, are just escapism in general. And see, I watch a show like The Expanse, and I'm wrapped up in other people's problems. Something that takes place in the future, maybe our future, maybe not, but they've got their own problems. It's just universe is completely different from what we have right now. That's what I want in entertainment at this particular point in my life. And there's not enough of it. Yeah.
Or I watch Star Trek Picard and I go, oh, you're raping everything that I like about Star Trek. What the fuck are you doing? You have no idea what you guys are doing.
Remember Star Trek? Well, fuck all that. This ain't your dad's Star Trek. Whoa.
Remember your dad? Well, let me bend him over the bed.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No, the cool thing about is it's not on the head like you know what I'm saying, like it's not that much nail on the head where the story is really cool.
Let's let the actors design the show, because they totally know what Star Trek is all about because they were on the set and reading lines that somebody else wrote.
Okay.
To summarize real quick, if I can, I think Adam is oversimplifying Black Mirror, which I find amusing, but also he's oversimplifying.
I'm like, what are you even talking about, Black Mirror now, or what are you talking about?
I was when we went to Picard,
so we can actually move on to the Twilight Zone episode. I think Frank is over glamorizing the show, so I think somewhere in the middle is where you should be.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
it's all opinionated anyway.
Let's move on to the Twilight Zone episode that we actually watched.
What happened in the end? Let's get to that.
I can see Jansen just pacing, and I'm like,
my feet are starting to hurt. I'm contemplating sitting down.
But this episode, I really do enjoy this episode. Really, there's not a whole lot to talk about. She has one more conversation with him before he leaves, right?
And that's the only time you know that they have become in love.
Yeah, and it seems like they met in that clip you played. He has another conversation with someone else. And then they talk again. He kind of embraces her, and that's really about it. And she's like, "I'll be this old. Maybe I won't do that. I'll go freeze myself." And she kind of hints at it. And he doesn't go, "Let's come up with a plan, bitch. What are we gonna do?" No communication at all. He just goes. He ignores whatever she says. She ignores whatever he says, and they go their separate fucking ways for 40 years. And that's where the episode really breaks down into the depression and the sadness of the outcome.
Yeah. The astronaut was extremely irresponsible. For a guy that was gung-ho for space exploration and furthering mankind and sacrificing himself for the greater good, kind of really dicked her over by generating a relationship out of thin air, literally seconds after he walks out of the planning room, which, by the way, I didn't mention earlier, but the way they had those star charts hanging up in the room, all I could think of was Tom Green going, "Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some? Because they're all strung up together. And if there was somebody behind it, because you could kind of see them moving a little bit, like there was like some wind going in the room, and they're all like on the same string. Yeah.
I have so many notes about the specifics. Like he's been an astronaut for 11 years, and he looked like he was 55. I'm like, but apparently finding out he's
a late bloomer,
older than me, is a little disturbing. But so he's going.
I'm sorry, Phoenix,
no, good.
The average age of an astronaut is like 36,
which apparently is what he's at, but he doesn't look like it at all. He looks like he's 53. But he's been an astronaut for 11 years. He's going 141 light years away from Earth. That's his goal.
Which in like that's about almost the entire span of the Milky Way.
Which means he's going over three times the speed of light. Right?
20. Nine times the speed of light.
Yeah, he's going way more because I was doing front and back, but he's just going 20 years there.
Which is impossible.
Yeah. So I get what your issues are with the science. So we already talked about that though, but I don't know where to begin.
There's theoretical ways to do it, but no.
Part of what I like about the episode is the miscommunication, which without that miscommunication, there is no episode. There's no reveal. Because in the end, it ends up being there's two things I want to say, and they're both separate. So how do I do this? So let's just say what happens. He goes out 20 years, comes back 20 years. He shows up back at the station and back in the space sci-fi hallway.
Yeah.
As an 8-year-old.
The one NASA hallway they have.
Yes. Shows up as an 80-year-old. She's 22, 23, whatever the fuck she is. And they had a miscommunication. They should have had a slight conversation about this, what they should have done. But the trick on what kind of was saying the other side of this is, in reality, is he waited 6 months, unplugged himself from the stasis somehow, and then somehow survived 40 years inside the space shuttle on food that isn't there.
Maybe he had a wet dream and woke up.
Maybe.
Well, maybe I guess it would be 19 years to the place where they went. He was able to stock up on some supplies. Maybe
I was gonna say, I'm sure you can fit 40 years worth of space food inside of the capsule that he's in. Yeah.
And the wrappers and the debris and the shit.
Fucking power bars. He just lived on power bars. The whole
thing wouldn't
time.
even have a toilet. He's supposed to be frozen the entire time.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's like they freeze you and then they blast you off into space. I don't think that glass box would handle all that rumbling and 20 G's.
It's the same glass box from Rip Van Winkle caper.
You notice that?
Yeah, exact same one.
Yeah.
But I guess what my point is he gets back. They do a thing where they trick you because it shows 1988, July or April 19th, 1988 on the screen. And you're thinking he's on his way back because it's the 60s. The math doesn't add up at all. You think he's on his way back though. But in reality, the current year that we're seeing our old character meeting the young character in the very end is like 2027 or something. So that's how they trick you into thinking he's on his way back, but really he just left, and you're seeing before he unplugged himself. Go back and rewatch it if you're confused. I had to go back to the beginning and go, wait, what? What are the years here? It's 1988 is like just after they left. This isn't set in the 60s. It's set in the 80s to 2022, 2027 or something.
Phoenix has got the chalkboard right next. He's like writing it, carry the one,
the string and the pictures.
Got a fucking slide rule out. Yeah.
That overlay of all the numbers coming across the screen.
It looks like. But he left in 1988 is when this is starting. But you think it's the 60s because that's just where your mind goes. So that's how they get you in a little bit of this. That's why you're not really thinking about. Because I was like, how does this make sense? Because I knew the ending. So even I was fooled. But
by the way, probably some of the best old man makeup I've ever seen. Not that they had to go real far, but
Old man makeup, not bad. What am I
Yeah.
Talking about, he looked like freaking Frankenstein, dude.
Go back and
Dude,
watch.
Comparatively, this is good.
Dude.
They oh boy.
Yeah, that.
That was Phoenix right there.
No, but it makes sense. If you go back and watch it with the timeline in place, you'll get it. You get what I'm saying. I'm not even going that deep. Just saying, you think they'll live in the 60s, but really it's set 20 years later than it really is.
What
That's
the
all.
fuck was that? What was that?
What?
Someone did math.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a
Like,
meme. Yeah, it was a meme. Yeah.
Do that. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
It was for a gag. Yeah.
Like, there's no way. Yeah. Okay. Like, I know that you were a mathematician.
Fuck.
I think the ending could have been better when he shows up, because they have some random guy from 40 years in the future come out and go, all right, Mr. whatever your fucking name is, here's what happened. She knew you would wait 40 years and be frozen, so she froze herself. So by the time you actually see the young lady come out to the old man, who's our main character, it's already spoiled. And I'm like, they wasted a reveal there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely a waste.
She should have been a lot madder.
That's not even the worst part, though. The worst part is after that, when he denies her.
Yeah,
he says
I don't
no.
blame him.
We can't. No, I do blame him. What old man wouldn't want some young hot 27-year-old woman
with freckles?
He's so old, though, at that point, he can't do shit for her. What's he gonna have a heart attack on her vagina? What's he gonna do to her?
He's
like,
Bitch, I just grew old as fuck because I would never see you again. Get out of my face.
Exactly. He had the sacrifice side. She did not. She just froze herself for 40 years. She doesn't remember a dick from that.
Yeah.
He had to live an entire lifetime on nothing.
Yeah.
He made the sacrifice.
Eating his own shit.
Like, I'm 40, and he's like, oh, great, bitch. Great. Have fun with that life.
I'm glad you get to live yours. I lived mine missing you. So whatever.
Eating power bars in the back of a ship for 40 years.
Yeah.
In reality, he would show up with long hair and long fingernails and look insane like Howard Hughes and just be like, I was a monster 40 years. Fuck, I want to fuck your holes and be crazy.
He was like, I had to give myself my own pancreatic, surgery and shit, bitch.
I had to drink my own piss for 40 years.
So I mean, like,
my own prostate, if you know what I mean. It's
I yanked out all my teeth. I had nothing but gum.
He would be a fucking creature, like
Oh
a
my
feral
goodness.
creature. He would be 2 days older.
The Howlers, they're trying to get me. Oh my God.
He would be a lunatic, and she'd be like, oh, 2 days ago I froze myself, as far as I know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Tom Hanks was only fucking by himself for 5 years, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
This guy's 40. I mean, he should be like.
So she's his
Nutcase.
Helen cunt because she's a bitch.
Dark.
Well, again, a conversation would have solved this, but they don't. Romeo.
One line of dialogue. Yeah.
Juliet doesn't tell him she used poison on her to fake her own death, and he shows up and thinks she killed herself, so he kills himself, and then she has to wake up and go, "Bitch, you killed yourself. I'm gonna kill myself now for real."
Which he suffered in that one, not her.
Forever young. Thank you.
Yeah. I called her Sandra Horny in my notes, not Sandra Horn, because she has the hot wets for him. She's all over this guy.
Wets.
She's so horny for him. They met twice. They had 2 conversations, and she's
This
like,
is worse than the Titanic relationship.
He's a famous astronaut, bro. Come on.
But at least in Titanic, they danced.
Dude, she got astronaut. Like she was waking up more astronaut. Yeah,
So deep space.
I see what you did there. Oh, shenanigans.
Oh, I can't. I was like, she should bang him for a couple years into the grave. That was my last note. Bang him till he dies. Move on like Anna Nicole Smith. Just don't die like she did.
Change his diapers.
Yeah, change his diapers. Fuck him. You got 3 years max. This guy's frail.
I mean, I have a clip from him, I think.
You're really quite an incredible man.
Burgess Meredith?
Maybe the one distinction in my entire life that I knew you.
If I knew a man who put such a premium on love, truly quite a distinction stands for you.
Ooh.
He did that a lot in the end too. A lot of
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, because all old guys, when you get old, you just go
French fried taters.
That's the quote right there that got Phoenix all choked up, though. I bet you anything.
Yeah, probably.
I think it took up this time because I knew it was going, but definitely, first few times I watched it. Yeah.
Just boo hoo 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 boo hoo.
No, I do the. Chest pain there.
You do like, man, got something in my eye. Must be the fucking allergies again. Holy shit, man.
Anyway, he should fuck her. I'm a big softie. I have no shame in that. I really am. But I watch this and I'm like, oh.
Carry a handkerchief with you.
Why don't you put it in her hole?
Which one?
Good God.
Glory hole.
Yeah, she better. Yeah, she had to give him the ass. I mean,
something. Something. She shows up and like, hey, I'm still hot in the exact same memory you have 40 years ago. You get an old wrinkled sack. What am I gonna?
Honestly, Phoenix, though, if she gave it up the ass towards the end, because women back then, they thought that if they did that, like you were married, like where are you going? You fuck me in the ass. You're like, we gotta be together forever. Like that was like something women. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't a first date, is what you're saying. It wasn't a.
I'm just saying, she cryogenic herself for him because she gave up the ass to him. It's like
they were going steady in the ass.
That's what I'm saying.
He was going steady.
Steady in the ass.
Like I gave him the ass, the motherfucker.
He better die in the war. That's the only way that relationship ends.
You know what the answer to all this is, right? All she needs to do is go put herself back in the cryogenic chamber for another 15, 20 years, find some grandkid of his if he ends up fucking somebody, and just marry that guy.
Yeah, Captain America this.
Yeah, Captain America, that bitch.
But then he finds a way to time travel to be with your ass. Some convoluted bullshit that Marvel came up with. Whatever.
Let's not even get down that rabbit hole.
Not a clue.
Speaking of her rabbit hole, though, she should have given it up. That's all I'm saying. Frank's right.
Yep.
Eddie in the ass.
Right in the ass.
Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with that. She should have done something. I love the cardboard sets when they had the radio conversation. I don't know if you guys remember that at all. It was a short little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's coming back, and it's like cardboard sets, and the guy's on a radio on a desk that's clearly in front of cardboard. This is such a cheap episode.
Yeah, there was spared at no expense here.
As far as cardboard goes.
Yeah.
Cardboard and fishing wire to hang his little Jupiter photos up. Then
Daddy, would you like
some big volcanoes?
One thing I love about gas planets, their volcanoes are amazing.
Yep.
Even though they cannot have them.
It's impossible.
Is there anything else you guys want to say about this episode? Any parting with the wisdom that we usually do? Any lessons learned?
Yeah, I this might piss you off, but I think Frank convinced me. I think there's problems in this episode that have taken it down a notch for me. The more I think about him, the more it pisses me off.
Nothing you guys want to say about the episode?
I think he has some points. He had some good points. He
does.
I would say that Frank definitely had some points. I still enjoyed the episode. I think it was
I don't hate it, but it did bring it down a notch because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, son of a bitch, I didn't think about that. What the fuck? Seriously,
Yeah, but that's why I say like my favorite movies are like hard sci-fi. But that's why I don't like Star Trek, Star Wars, all that shit. Like,
fantasy and shit. Yeah, I got you.
More hard sci-fi shit is like I don't care if it's sci-fi, but still don't.
You can't turn your brain off.
Quest, right?
Your brain starts asking questions, and it sets off bells and whistles. I totally get that.
Nobody It's fun.
I get it, but it's kind of like it's weird that I feel this way, but also I hate Star Trek Discovery because Star Trek Discovery is all emotion, no science.
Yes.
Which I normally not on board with.
Not enough problem solving.
But when I watch this episode, I ignore that. But when I watch Star Trek Discovery, which is the exact same ratio of science versus emotion, I'm like, fuck this. Like, I get irritated.
Yeah.
So I get both aspects, Adam. I get why you're kind of on the fence and why you're swayed so easily by it, because it makes sense. The science is bullshit in this.
It only took it down a notch for me, though. Yeah.
But like I said earlier, I understand why the science is that way in this episode. They were just so fucking rushed, and they're at the finish line of the show. I don't know if CBS announced already they're done, but they were clearly finishing up, and Rod wasn't involved. So I kind of excuse that. Like right now, Star Trek Discovery is season 1 and 2. That's how they began the show. So it's inexcusable.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
I never watched it.
It's terrible. Don't watch it.
It's trash. I watched one episode, and that was enough to know that this was not Star Trek whatsoever. It's
watched
like
every episode. It's not worth watching. I watched everything of a card. Do not watch it. It's fucking miserable.
I mean,
it's like a bad relationship. You keep thinking it's going to get better, and then you keep getting hurt again and again and again.
That's
it's like
Walking Dead. That's Walking Dead.
It's not a bad relationship. Phoenix is just a masochist and loves the pain.
He likes to hurt. He likes to suffer.
I like Star Trek. I was telling Jansen I downloaded a Star Trek game on here. I'm like, it's going to be terrible, but I'm looking forward to it because.
You mean the click?
My answer to that was: did you have any doubt that it was going to be terrible? Or
no, I know it's going to be bad. It's free to play, and I'm like, it's going to be terrible.
That's your first
one of those. Yeah.
Here we go. I haven't touched.
You can go faster, Phoenix, if you spend $50 on more, enzyme
Warp
crystals
drive.
or whatever. Yeah.
Would you like Warp Drive? $50?
Yeah, only $50 for Warp Drive.
I won't pay a single penny for a game like that. So we'll see how it goes. I'll probably stop playing after 15 minutes, like Fallout 76.
That's about how long
that was only because you couldn't play it, not that it would. That you didn't
I played
want
literally 20 minutes of Fallout 76, and it updated the servers 15 fucking times, and I'm like, all right, done. And I haven't touched it in 2 years.
Outro?
Done.
Outro?
Yeah. Go ahead and play the outro, and then we'll do our outros and plugs.
One of the forgotten pioneers of the space age.
Sorry.
He's been pushed aside by the flow of progress and the passage of years and the ferocious travesty of fate. Tonight's tale of the ionosphere and irony, delivered from the Twilight Zone.
Oh, are we done?
Mr. Surley.
Oh, no.
Next time out in the Twilight Zone, an unusual little item from the pen of Jerry McNeely, based on a story by Henry Slazar, and called, intriguingly enough, The Self-Improvement of Salvador Ross. This one poses a question: if you don't like what you are, how do you go about changing? Don Gordon portrays a man who really goes the route when it comes to some basic changing, and the results are most unexpected.
I have zero memory of the next episode.
I don't.
Doesn't sound familiar to me. Yeah.
Me neither.
So this will be, I hope all of us are back next week. We're going to do 2 Twilight Zone episodes next week. We'll do Self-Improvement of Salvador Ross. And we'll also do number 12, Looks Just Like You.
Oh, that's a good one, actually. It's actually decent.
We're skipping Tales From The Crypt because we're way the fuck ahead of schedule.
Yeah, at least that one's actually pretty decent. And that's, I think, Earl Hammy wrote that, and that's like one of the only ones that was worth anything they ever did.
Charles Beaumont.
Was it? There you go.
So he was deep in the recessions of
this was,
his mind shattering away.
Yeah.
Probably one of the last things he wrote, honestly.
I think it was, yeah.
But check us out next week for those 2 episodes, and I look forward to it. Is there anything else you guys want to say about this episode?
Do we want to do scores at all, or?
Oh yeah, ratings.
Yeah, ratings. Yeah.
I gave it a 9. I love this episode.
I give it an 8.
It's got a 7.7 on IMDb.
5.
I was going to give it a 7, but the more I think about it, I'm kind of torn between 6 and 7.
Sounds like a 6.5.
Yeah, I don't know if we do half scores on this show or not. I haven't been on the show long
I go
enough.
off IMDb. You get a star. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all whole numbers. You don't get a half.
Okay, so yeah, it's a 6 unless somebody convinced me otherwise. I like the acting. I like the fact that the director did a lot with a very little here. Like it's not, in the set, but the acting's good. The pacing's pretty good considering it's all about time travel. But the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, you're right. This is Shakespeare. This is Forever Young. I'm gonna say it. And yeah, Frank's got me convinced. When you start thinking about the maths, you can't just turn that part of your brain off. So once you call attention to it, it's hard not to think about that. Like, oh wow, yeah, you really didn't put enough effort into it. And also, I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but it's like it was very irresponsible of that progressive astronaut that wants to do one for mankind to generate a relationship out of thin air, 5 minutes before he takes off on the most important mission of his life. He shouldn't have done that. He did it, and it happened. So I don't know.
He was getting fucked over one way or the other.
Yeah, and then she gets fucked over too because she's wasted her entire life waiting for somebody who's
so deep.
A massive communication breakdown, which is basically what it's about. So yeah,
I agree with everything except that last sentence. She wasted nothing. He wasted 40 years.
Okay.
Because she's 2 days older.
Except if you think about it, now that she's waken up again, she's out of her element. So time will have passed her by. She's going to have to catch up with technology and probably not be able to assimilate herself back into society very easy. So yeah.
Either way, she's fucked.
I mean, he's got to deal with that too. You know what I mean? So like, it's minor in her situation because she's still got the rest of her life to figure it out. He's at the end of his.
She's still exactly. She's still young. He's elderly.
He can go check into a nursing home and let somebody else wipe his ass. It's
he didn't know she was going to do that. So he was going to she was fucked either way. You know what I mean? She was either going to live out the rest of her life missing him, right? Because of what he did, or she's going to freeze himself and he did, and then she still can't be with him. Either way, she still can't be with him, and she's still going to be that age, and she's still going to live the rest of her life out missing him, whatever. Either way, she's fucked.
Right. Unless they had a conversation.
I think the opposite. I think she's fine. She'll figure something out. She's young. Maybe she put $20 in the bank. She's got all that, that sort of shit. So, but I agree with Frank what said, except for the fact that she's fucked. I do think, except that's part of it. That's not a negative against the issue, against the episode, though. That is what happened, which I don't hold against the episode because that's the plot of the episode, which I appreciate, and that's why I like it.
Right.
The science you can't deny is wrong, but I don't hold that against the episode. I know why this episode was rushed, and I know all that shit. So that is a contributing factor into what kind of I put in my ignore box. I'm like, all right, that's over here. And I still have an emotional core to this episode, which is mostly all I'm looking for in a Twilight Zone episode. Like some of the bad ones, like Frank, you didn't really care for Nightmare as a Child, but I fucking love that episode because it has an emotional core, and it's over here. And the episode has flaws, yes, but I love that fucking episode. I just don't hold the weird shit against it. I all I want is a character study. There's interesting characters and interesting plot, enough to make me think and not make me go, fucking hurry up, or I know this is going. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't feel that way in this episode.
At least this episode had a twist you did not see coming. I'll give it that. I didn't see her, freezing her ass. Nope.
Except for the very end where that guy just spills it all out before we get it should have been our two main characters getting together at different ages. Not just the guy going, hey, she's young, you're old. Anyway, here you go. And you're kind of like, oh, I already know this.
This is awkward now.
By the time you see them together, you're like, I already know this. They fucked up the ending.
Yeah. So it's like they're reading off of cue cards at that point. Just get it over with. Just turn on a teleprompter, and it's a wrap. Next episode, start rolling.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get out of here. Until next time, in the meantime, I'm Phoenix West.
I'm Frank Links.
I'm Jansen Carlin.
And I'm Adam Wilcox.
See our plugs in the show notes because we gone long and I want to put them all here. So
what she said.
She said we've gone long.
Yeah.
What's wrong with her? Fucking the wrong ladies.